All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you are having an amazing morning. Hope you guys had an incredible day yesterday, and happy Father's Day, man, to those that were celebrating. Peter, happy Father's Day to you and to everyone
Did you have a
else.
good Father's Day, Carlos?
Had a great Father's Day weekend, man. Got together with two of my other fellow fathers, my brother and my dad. It was it was a great time, man. Great time. So we enjoyed ourselves. Excellent, man. Let's get to it, Peter. We'll go right to US economic calendar, and then we'll look at our gappers list.
Yeah, so not much happening this morning, but interesting. The Empire State Manufacturing Survey came out. Something I don't normally spend a lot of time looking at, but significantly off the expected numbers. In fact, huge contraction in the Empire State Survey. This is a New York State survey. They were expecting some contraction in the manufacturing there, but this is down significantly at minus 16. It's all a relative scale, but I mean, it hasn't been this low for a while, so it's interesting that it was so off forecast, because the forecast was only about a third of what it actually did deliver. So I was expecting maybe more reaction from the market, but it doesn't seem to have much. What I added on here, something we don't normally look at, which is the bond auction. There is a 20-year bond auction. So this is the auction of the 20-year bonds for the U.S. economy. And if you guys remember, a couple weeks ago, we had a bond auction that did not go well. And the market had a big reaction to it. Normally, the market doesn't react so directly because the bond auctions usually go as expected. But last time this happened, anyways, the bonds went for a lot higher interest rate than anticipated, and we definitely saw a market reaction. So I thought I'd add it on here. That's happening at 1:00. So we could very well get some market reaction again, depending on how the bond offering goes this time around. So for those that aren't familiar, the bond auction is basically where the U.S. raises the funds needed to pay for the deficit. So by issuing bonds, it's one of the ways we can say, anyways, that they do that. So we'll see how that goes this afternoon, and if it creates some market reaction. So just be aware, if you're in a trade, you might see some unexpected movement, or that is not sort of in line with previous direction at this 1:00 time frame. So keep that in mind. Carlos, I didn't see a lot on the earnings for today. It looks relatively quiet. There's a bunch of stuff on the gappers list, though, so we'll have something to talk about anyways.
Yeah, let's take a look what's in the gappers list, my friends. Brought to you by tradingterminal.com, and I forgot to click a button. So once I click this button, this should come right up. Give it a second here. It's like an airplane checklist here, man, to take off. Gotta hit all kinds of things, share this, share that. And I was talking to you before the show, right? We run off two computers, so it makes things a little bit more complicated. But it works. Here it is. Our Trading Terminal gappers list brought to you by obviously Trading Terminal. Gapping up this morning. We have a ton. Quantum is on here again. As you can see, Rigetti. We have QBTS, QUBT, which were very active the last couple of last week especially, but the last couple of weeks as well. And a GameStop back on the upside of things, and a couple of more. A lot of our usual suspect, Tesla, PLTR, which has become, I keep saying it, but it is one of our darlings to trade here when it comes to day trading. So that will be on deck as well. And then Bitcoin. Bitcoin is on here, but again, it normally does not make my list. I see Maris on there. I see Riot. I don't know. They make a lot of noise, but they're not trading as well when it comes to intraday trades. With that, let's jump to some of the stuff we have on deck, friends, starting with the first one, SATS. Let's take a look here. So SATS, we are gapping up this morning 41%. Peter, looks like not a low flow, actually 243 million shares traded right now. We're up 41%, 750,000 shares. Again, typically not something we'll look at. I see there's some action happening today. What's the latest and greatest? EchoStar is the name of the company.
EchoStar. So this is a satellite provider that's been in a dispute with the FCC over the state of their licenses. And the FCC was saying that they had some concerns over whether EchoStar was actually living up to the terms of their license obligations in delivering 5G and other services. It has typically well, as we see with the news, right now the White House is putting its finger on the scale. So The EchoStar chairman made his way to the White House, had a meeting with Trump. Trump called in the chair of the FCC and said, "Hey, make a deal." So the president putting his thumb on the scale, and SATS is moving up. Now, I haven't heard a result of that, but it definitely puts the FCC chair in a tough position when the commander in chief tells you to make a deal with someone whom you're trying to hold accountable. So, yeah, SATS jumping up, as you can see, after hours, and then yeah, it's holding those gains. I don't know. I mean, like Carlos, like you said, never seen it, so I don't know how this is expected to trade. A little bit of a unique situation. We might see, more volume than the average 4 million shares a day on this thing once the market opens, but it's a wild card. It's just, because we've never traded this, and it doesn't typically move with the high fly-in stocks. It's tough to say what it's going to do. I mean, look at it this morning though. 42% is a big jump, so might be worth just taking a look at just to see if it does something interesting.
Yeah, yeah, it might. It's not a low flow stock, so we probably can get some good plays out of it. But again, like you mentioned, we just won't know. Gonna add them on our secondary list just to see where it goes here. I do like the gap up this morning, and again, just worth taking a look at a little bit later. Next on the list is going to be SBET, and this is the one that Peter could not figure out where he's getting that logo from. This is a star and on and everything. He's still trying to put those pieces together. But here it is, guys. It is up 17% today. 3.5 million. Sure. How is it? Oh, okay. I see why it's up. It was down big on Friday, and then today's just bouncing back a little bit. This just looks brutal. I mean, even last trading action. This was Friday. Look how bad this is. I'm not interested at all, Peter. What's your thoughts?
Midday Friday, they made an announcement that they have acquired $463 million worth of Ether. That's 176,271 Ether coins, Ethereum. Anyways, they bought Ethereum, which makes them the largest. Well, according to their own press release, makes them the largest Ether shareholder amongst publicly traded companies. I mean, I don't know how to validate that, but that's what they say. So it was up big. Well, it was moving on Friday. We talked about this, and I was trying to, decipher the logo thing. But it moved up after hours really on Friday. Now it's given back most of those gains, but I don't know. Like Carlos, it was in play on Friday, significantly larger volumes than normal at 41 million shares traded. I don't know what to expect of it today. I didn't really like the price action despite everything. So all that being said, I'm probably not going to make it the best trading stock this morning either, would be my guess.
Yeah, I don't like it. We'll skip on it. We'll move on to the next one, which is going to be CRCL. So if we look at CRCL here, we're up 9.5, 2.3 million shares traded. Float on this one, 93.6 is what I'm showing, million that is. Recent IPO off the daily looks like, right? Just make sure. Yeah, just IPO about 2 weeks ago. Making some noise now. We don't have a lot of information on this one, Peter. Circle Internet, we spoke about this before. They're making some noise today again.
Yeah, this is one that Jared was talking about it before it was cool. So we got to give him credit for that. He's been trading this since the IPO. It's been getting volume ever since it IPO'd. I haven't loved the way it moves myself, but there have been Jared and others in the chat room that have made money off of it. I mean, Friday it actually had a good sort of steady move up. You had to trade this one a little differently, to my mind, at least by the way I trade. But there's opportunity in it, so it's worth keeping an eye on. This is not news based. This thing's not moving on news. It's just moving because it's available. I mean, this is only like day 8 of its trading life, so yeah, it's still very new.
Yeah.
All-time highs for what that matters.
All-time high, 52-week high, you name it. Everything high in this one. As is doing very well, increasing its price here. Opened up at around at least 69.02. Again, roughly. We'll have to zoom in to see exactly what it'll IPO'd as. and then up at 146 as high as 148. Man, that's awesome. You're in happy IPO owner if you're in early on this one. Either way, I don't know what else to say on this one, so I'm gonna probably skip it for now, and we can always come back to it. You know what? Secondary. I died out traded, but it is doing some stuff here this morning. Moving down the list, NVTS is another one that we've seen, I think, plenty of times on here. Nvidia Semiconductor. Again, AI, semis are all just been extremely active. This one got going really mid-May. Started to get some volume. It's been up and down here. Lower price stock for the most part. I probably won't be watching this one, Peter. If I want to trade some semi stuff, there's a lot other tickers I would prefer to watch. So this one will not be on my list this morning.
Nope, exactly as you said. It just hasn't been all that great. I'm surprised it's still on the list, but credit to it for hanging in there. But yeah, not my favorite.
Yep. Not enjoying this one. Let's move on down to the next one off the gappers list. Again, brought to you by Trading Terminal. We have URGN. I feel like we talked about this before. URGN, and we might have, because just off the daily, you can see how wild it is here. So it has been in play recently. 39 million shares flow. So we're looking at here on Friday. Did have some kind of aggressive move going from 1180 looks like all the way to 1440ish, and today looking to do some noise again. It is gapping up 9.6. Volume is not great, only 207,000. We will definitely want to see more if this thing is going to be in play, Peter. But again, this is typically not one that I'm going to put on my list unless we get volume. If we get volume, it can be good, but I try to avoid all these low flow stocks, and this is one of them for me, at least.
Wow, very mixed article here on on this company. It's a biotech, and often on Mondays we get some biotech announcement. The FDA did approve UroGen. Again, mixed article here. So the headline reads: FDA approves UroGen's drug. I can't even say it. Zusturi. Anyways, for non-muscle invasive bladder cancer. All right, so non-invasive. So, anyways, but then you read the article and it says the agency did point out, however, that serious adverse reactions happened in 12% of patients, including a fatal adverse reaction of cardiac failure. Okay, so let's approve this thing then. Why not? Only 12% of the patients had big problems. Anyways, it feels a little. Should they be approving this? I'm not sure. Anyways, if I guess look, you're willing to take the risk of peeing yourself if you've got invasive bladder cancer, right? So minor problem to have, I suppose, if you
Minor
really think
problem.
about
Yeah.
it. So,
Oh man.
in any event, look, they got FDA approval. That's usually what moves the stock. It's gapping up this morning. Look, if you like this type of offering, we run into them every week. Then this could be for you. The volume is very low, though. Like, if I was to trade this, I'd want to be seeing a lot more volume. But hey, they're trying to cure cancer, or at least one kind. Jesse, nice. You're on mute, Carlos.
Oh, sorry about that. Roku is next on the list here. We haven't seen this one in quite some time. Today they're trying to do something. Volume is not great right now. Off the daily here, 281,000 being traded right now. It is up 10%. This could be just because of the drop it had over the last couple of days, right? Just kind of getting back up here. Any earnings on Roku, Peter? I don't think so. Doesn't seem like it. But
I didn't see. I wasn't tracking earnings on anything today. So,
yeah.
but no, they're here because they have a partnership with Amazon. So they've announced that they have an exclusive partnership with Amazon Ads to create what they're calling the largest authenticated connected TV footprint in the U.S. So, anyways, so it's good news for Roku, and probably not going to move Amazon, because Amazon, as the big the big gorilla out there in the jungle, typically doesn't move on these types of things. They're the one issuing the deal. Roku's the beneficiary.
Yep. You need a lot to get these guys moving. Secondary. I mean, I'm thinking secondary just because how well this has traded for us in the past. A long time ago, we haven't really add any
Yeah.
trace on it, but it is up 10%. Just the volume is not there though. So there's a couple that look great
No.
here. We have Roku, we have CRCL. It's actually got good volume here. SAST is another secondary list as well. So three on the secondary list so far. We'll see. But Roku again, it just needs more volume to make it really in play. All right, heading back to this list, I do see X Steel here. X, which has been the headlines of a couple of news articles, right, with their buyout, not being bought, being sold, and all kinds of stuff. And you can see that reflected on their daily, just all over the place, right? Big pop up here, and then just has been sideways for the most part. Today we're gapping up 5%. I still believe that's not going to trade well unless we have any major news. I haven't heard anything on U.S. Steel. Unless you have any major news, I think this just trades flat for the most part. So I'll keep it off my list until we hear something on it.
Yeah, I mean, this is really, I mean, the announcement I saw was really just them confirming that they're closing the deal. As we knew, Trump said that he was going to approve it after he got anyways, that he agreed on the deal on certain conditions, including the White House having a finger in the decision model. So, which is a little unprecedented, but I mean, there's a lot that's going on that's unprecedented these days. X is seeing a benefit, and of course, getting this deal means they get access to money and they get access to the influence and power of the White House, of course, when they need it. So we'll see how that goes. That can, it's a double edged sword on that one. So X though has been moving occasionally, like you could see, Carlos. It jumped up there when we got the news 2 weeks ago. Hasn't really done much since, and this is the way it normally trades, right? Pretty flat trading. So I think I I I think you'd be probably wasting a lot of time trying to watch it today. That's my feel. That being said, I've been wrong before. I mean, heck, I didn't think Oracle was going anywhere, and I was totally wrong
I
about that last
know.
week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
So
see what's
I can admit when I'm wrong,
yeah, yeah.
but anyway.
Oracle's wild. Not just one day, but 2 days back to back explosive. The next even bigger
Yeah.
than the one before. So it's just a wild run. And I'm not sure where Andrew got out on his swing trade. Because I know he destroyed it on Thursday. He swung it
Yeah.
into Friday, and man, it
208 or
went.
something like that, I
Yeah.
think, is when he got
Wow.
out.
It won another
So, but
15
yeah.
bucks, looks like. So
Yeah.
massive, massive there. Um, all right, and looking at Oracle, actually, could be one to keep an eye on. Maybe some profit taken. Maybe come back down to reality here a little bit. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna put on a secondary, just to see what takes
Oh,
place.
you're
Yeah,
gonna
let's see.
watch Oracle. All right.
Yeah, let's see what happens on such a big move the last 2 days. Could be a good short opportunity if the fun is somewhat over. Taking a look here on our gappers list, friends. We went through a lot of this over here. Again, nothing really that we love. A lot of secondary stuff so far. Oklo is another one that was very active last week. Let's take a look at a few that are on here. We'll look at Quantum. Let's look at Bitcoin, and we'll look at Tesla and POTR. Let's look at those, and then I'll leave the rest for you guys to call out in case there is anything you like this morning. So let's take a look at Oklo right now, see what's happening there. At the moment, I think this is just kind of getting back to lower volume trading. You see, we had a nice spike over 3 days here. They had one really great day. The rest was so, and not as easy to trade. Today they're up 4.1, 743,000. I mean, there could be an opportunity that this thing might want to retest some of these highs. That could give you a good play here. Likelihood of me putting on my list is not high on it, but if you guys see something on this one, let me know. Once it starts losing volume and it starts trading the way it normally does, then I'm no longer interested in it, Peter. Anything new on Oklo? I highly doubt it, but just in case.
No, I mean, I haven't really seen anything new. They're getting more coverage. Kramer is now talking about Oklo. Is that good or bad? Not sure, but they're talking more about these nuclear stocks. Keep in mind, they're still testing this technology, right? So this is another one where we're still in the hype cycle. If you remember last week, they did sign a deal with the U.S. Air Force to build one of these reactors out in Alaska at the Alaska base. I feel like they did that on purpose. They were keeping it away to less populated areas. It feels like it's a little bit, mitigating the risk, even though they want to give it a shot. But I think the deal says that, to build, develop, and start to operate this thing is like it's still 10 years away from that happening. So they've got like it's not like these are going to start popping up in a neighborhood near you, right? Like little baby reactors in these little chalets. They're still working on the technology, which is good for stock trading because like we said many times, these stocks move on the speculation. When they actually have to deliver is usually when they start to fall. So we're still in the highly speculative, but it's a ways away. In fact, in some respects, this may be farther away than quantum. So who knows? But Carlos, again, whether it's going to move today, tomorrow, next week, I have no idea. Oklo is just keep it on the back burner, and so you can pull it up whenever it decides to have some fun.
Yeah, agreed. Another one, a couple that are making some noise here on the gappers list today is our quantum stocks. If we go down here, QBTS I mentioned earlier, they're all on here. IonQ, I thought I saw that one earlier, but maybe not. Let's take a look. QBTS, see how we're doing here. Up 3%, 1.7 million shares traded. Which one's the one that was trading better? Was it QUBT? It was one that was trading.
I think.
Yeah, this was the one that was gave you a couple of really nice pops here. Friday was not so great. Today it can go either way. I mean, we're up 3.4 with 900, almost a million shares traded right now. So I could watch this one. I don't think it's really in play right now, but more of a secondary. My secondary list is huge, by the way. All right. QUBT, I'll put on the secondary. We'll take a look at some other ones. IonQ is on here. QBTS, we looked at, doesn't look great. Yeah, I don't know about today. QUBT, maybe on the secondary list.
Yeah, well, you got to put it on the secondary we're seeing, Carlos. I don't see anything there yet, but.
Oh, yeah, I'm just writing it on my watch list. I'll type it into the banner.
Nice. All right, we'll get there. Okay. Yeah, but nothing new on quantum, guys. It's really just steady as she goes. There's some profit taking happening on Friday the 13th, by the way, and I think, well, at least personally, I escaped that without any bad luck. So good. Knock on wood. Hopefully, I don't jinx it for today. But yeah, nothing new on quantum. I think it's quiet at the moment, anyways.
Yeah. There it is. Just type all that in there. Again, everything just secondary. Nothing I love so far. We'll move some stuff up. We'll find some stuff to look at, like Tesla and POTR. I know these are going to be on my list, so let's take a look at that one. Tesla, beautiful daily here. Possible breakout today if we can get going, as things are a little bit in the green. And again, I agree with you. Brenton's asking, we should be down. Where's the good news? You're right. I don't know where the good news is. But everything is up. I mean, yeah, when you hear what's going on in just your top news are all negative. Unfortunately, the issue that happened in Minnesota, the riots, the stuff going on in with Iran and Israel. They're right. There's no positive. Your top 5 headlines are not positive, but the market seems to, I don't want to say doesn't care, but right now they seem it's gonna get somewhat resolved, and I don't know. So we'll see what happens. But here's Tesla up 2.3 million shares traded. It will be on my list. Has traded very well for us, so we'll add that on there. And then another one also here is POTR. And I think I'm just going to end the list with these 2 so far. Peter, we'll take it to you. What do you think of these 2, and also any other ones that you like this morning that might not be on the gappers list?
Well, I mean, you mentioned Tesla. I don't know whether it's good news or bad news, but Tesla's announced that they're raising prices on their Model S and Model X by about $5,000. So, again, that's sort of good for the stock because it means they're making more money per car, but it could affect sales. So, the fact that they're announced that they're going to be raising prices, can be seen either way. Like you said, Tesla's been doing fairly well considering the news, and we are edging closer here to their robo-taxi launch, which is supposed to be happening before the end of the month, right? Unless it gets delayed again. So that could be. I mean, that will definitely be interesting. And then of course it depends on how that launch goes, or if it goes. So yeah. So stay tuned. Watch this space. We'll only know once the news comes out on it. I'm guessing it's going to be delayed again, just because it's a fairly safe guess, because when you're talking about Tesla releases and announcements, it usually gets delayed. So, but again, it doesn't mean the stock's going to go down. Somehow they seem to manage to avoid. They just get delayed. And everybody's like, yeah, it makes sense, and the
Hmm.
stock moves on. I look. Maybe this is part of Elon's like master plan, right? He's made the entire market immune to his delays because we know he delays everything as he always delays. So when you delay, everybody's like, yeah, it's just Elon, just him being him. So it's
Yep. Yep.
a smart plan if he actually did it on purpose. By the way, I don't know if he did.
We will never know, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. How about anything else, Peter, of the gappers to say you like this morning of the gap up?
You're right. Other things. I mean, most things are gapping up. A lot of green on the screen. All the Magnificent Seven are gapping higher. Nothing really of note, though. I mean, things are just moving up slightly in all space. The semiconductors all moving up again slightly. We're talking about 1% or less generally on everything. Um, Even the airlines are moving higher with Boeing. They seem to have shrugged off, as they always do, the news of their the crash, the Air India crash. I mean, still no resolution or details. Although I'm still trying to figure out how this guy jumped out of an airplane midair. That
No, that didn't happen. They confirmed that didn't happen.
I
There's
know, but I
yeah,
love the news
that didn't
because
happen.
I'm like, there is no way. Like, even at its slowest, a plane is moving like 200 to 300 kilometers an hour in the air. Like, that's not. You don't survive that. What the? Anyways, I just thought
Yeah.
the early reports on that. Everybody's like, he jumped out in the air. I'm like, what? Anyway,
No, no way. It looks like
he
the
didn't jump out. He
spot,
walked out.
yeah, the C-11A where he was sitting. It looks like they were explaining that's a very strong part of the aircraft. So
Right.
if that didn't get bended, that kind of shielded him from the blast and everything. So
Even
lucky
Tom
man.
Cruise couldn't do that.
No,
Is
even
that our measure of possibility? Well, Tom
Tom
Cruise
Cruise.
couldn't do
Yeah,
that.
absolutely, absolutely.
So not possible. Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways,
wild.
so yeah, so we've got like one survivor from that crash, and anyways, said Boeing stock has sort of weathered the storm remarkably well. So hopefully we'll get some answers as to what happened there soon. But yeah, Boeing probably not in play today. So Carlos, I don't really have much. I don't know what to expect. It feels like a pretty quiet Monday. Um, I should mention, by the way, well, we can talk about when we get to the calendar. Well, but I'm mentioning it now. We do have a holiday this week, so Thursday the markets are closed on Thursday. So I didn't realize that till somebody asked me, and I'm like, "What? They are?" Because I forgot the Juneteenth holiday. Now the markets are closed on Juneteenth, and that is in the schedule. So yeah, so we're gonna have like this midweek break, a little bit of a rare midweek thing.
Yep,
So
yep. Juneteenth, National Independence
Juneteenth,
Day. Yep,
June 19th. Yeah.
which is good. My kids are off, so I don't have to worry about babysitting. Getting a babysitter, they could stay with me, so I don't mind that.
Right.
All right, let's take a look, friends. I think that covers our gap up, gapping down. We got a couple here that somehow made their way into the red. SRPT we've seen in the past normally does not trade very well, but today here SRPT. Let's take a look. We are down 21%. So 21% on SR. I'm sorry, excuse me, 40%. Write that wrong.
Yeah.
40%. Wow. 3.5 million shares traded, Peter. What's going on with this one? Pretty hard hit.
Yeah. Bad news. Bad news. So Sarepta here, pharmaceutical, and they have a global partner, Roche, that they have discontinued the use of their muscular dystrophy gene therapy after a second death has occurred. So that's not good news for their treatment nor their prospects. That's why the company stock value is down 40% this morning.
Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
How well it's going to trade? We have seen this one in the past. I'm not sure how well it's going to trade, but worth. I'm not sure if it's maybe worth watching on the secondary. I got so many on the secondary that I don't know if I want to add any more. I'm going to keep this one off. We'll keep this one off just because I have so many on here. Let's take a look at HUSA. This one doesn't look great, guys. If you look at the daily, it's a little bit all over the place. We had a big drop back in the 6th, beginning of the month. Since then, we moved up a little bit, and now we are just down another 18%. Hard to bar. Just looks messy. Sitting on the American Stock Exchange, we normally doesn't trade all that well. So Peter, I'm not inclined to keep an eye on this. What's your thoughts?
We looked at this last week, and I thought it was interesting that the company issued a press release saying that we have become aware of unusual trading activity in our common stock, and on Thursday and Friday, so June the 12th and 13th. The company said it's made inquiries to the cause and has been unable to determine whether corrective actions are appropriate at this time. The company is further announcing that there has been no material development in its business and affairs that is not previously disclosed, nor to its knowledge any other reason for the account activity. So if you remember, we saw this, and they're basically saying, oh, it wasn't us, man. We don't know what's going on. So it's not an atypical response for a company that stock suddenly starts to move. Sometimes it just gets picked up, right? If you remember way back when, GME had to issue a statement like this when they became a meme stock, and they're like we did nothing. It's not us.
Yeah.
We're just as confused as you are. In this case, the market just got a hold of them, and they started to move last week. So I don't think it's going to still be in play, though. I think the fun's probably over. But again, like I've said, been wrong before.
Yeah, yeah. Not sure. And then the last one on here is NVO. It's the last one on our gappers list, gapping down this morning. Again, a lot of stuff just gapping up today. Not a lot that looks great off the gappers list so far, but yeah, let's see. So here's the last one, NVO. This morning we are sliding down a little bit, 2%, 284,000 shares traded. This is Novo Nordisk, as you can see here on the daily. We have moved up pretty well in the last couple of weeks. So pulling back a bit here. How well has been traded? I have not really watched this one, so I don't know. I know we traded it in the past. It has some news. It did very well. We actually had some decent trading on it. We have not really seen it since then, Peter. Not sure if you have kept up with it, but right now we're gapping down a little bit with a little bit of volume. Anything you like about this one?
Well, they had some interesting news out of Canada here. It looks like that Novo Nordisk, who's the producer or manufacturer of Ozempic, made a blunder. So there was news came out that apparently they failed because they didn't pay a couple $100. It may cost them a couple $1 billion. So they apparently had to pay a patent fee of $250 and were given notice that they needed to pay the fee. They ignored the notice, and then were issued another. When after it was missed, they were sent a follow up to say, well, if you pay $450, which includes a $200 late fee, we can reinstate your patent, which again was ignored by the company. So the government is like, all right, so your patent is going to lapse in Canada, which means that they lose their patent protection rights throughout Canada, and they had Canadian sales of about $2.5 billion last year in Canada. So I think that's what's probably pushing Novo Nordisk down, is that now they still have patent protection, I think, if I'm reading this right, until 2026. So they've got another year or so. Yeah, that feels like you would ask, Carlos, somebody's getting fired.
Oh yeah, someone's getting absolutely. Maybe a couple of people. A couple of people got to fired on this one.
Whose job, damn it, was it to file this patent, and who ignored the letters?
Oh, so my goodness. Yeah. Yep. All right, there you have it. Not sure how well that's going to trade, but why not watch if you have the space? Put that on there and see where it goes. All right, my list looks so bad. I'm looking at my watch list, Peter. Tesla, POTR, and just a bunch of secondary stuff. I'm sure it's going to get better as we move forward here as we're starting off our week. But that is it. I'm going to add NVIDIA just because it's NVIDIA, and we do like to watch it. It does trade very well. But this is it for me. So let's take it to you guys. What do you guys like this morning? Or, Peter, anything gapping down that we have not covered yet?
I like the comments people have got on Novo Nordisk. Having been in situations like that, I could just imagine. I hate being the executive in this situation. You imagine getting called into the boss's office and saying, who the hell, how did you let this happen? And you'd be like, I don't know. There's somebody like 5 layers below me that's supposed to file the patents. Well, didn't you check that? And you'd be like, I don't like. You expect me to look? I don't look at every patent to make sure they're filed. Like, it'd be part of a bureaucratic process. And but you'd be held accountable, and I rightly so. But I can just picture these conversations. That would
Oh
be
yeah,
very awkward. Very
not
awkward.
a fun time.
Yeah, no fun. Anyways, from a gap down, what do I like? I got nothing gapping down. I mean, there's really pretty much everything's green. You mentioned Ion Q. It's like it's gapping down for whatever reason, despite the other quantum stocks doing okay. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Carlos, I really think today is just going to be a day where I'm going to have to watch my usual stocks. Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, AMD, right? Just see what's moving and take it easy, because I don't have anything that's leaping out to me off of this gappers list, up or down today.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. No, nothing sticks out right now. We'll have to wait for the market open to see where the volume comes in. Let's go to you guys. What do you guys like this morning? We'll start in our chat and then we'll continue over on YouTube. And our friends on YouTube, if you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up. We really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton. Right now we're sitting at refreshing. Let's take a look. 109 likes, which is not bad. 909 in the morning. 109 of you have smacked that thumbs up. That's actually pretty good, given it's Monday morning. All right, let's take a look here and see. We'll start with our chat room. What tickers you guys like on here? Meta. I see Meta being thrown out on both chats, pretty aggressive, and I see why very clearly. There's something going on with Meta. 688 popping up to 704. This stock just continues to crush the AI race or whatever it is. I think they're one of their products with their glasses people love. I haven't tried their glasses. Have you tried those glasses, Peter, Ray-Ban, or do you know anybody that has them that loves them? Or you guys in
No,
chat? Okay.
no, I don't like. I
Yeah.
mean, I've got the Oculus. They're sitting over here.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but it's like, I don't know if you can even see it. Can you see, like, back in the corner, right over my shoulder here? There's a
Yeah. Yeah.
box underneath a bunch of like old candles. That's my Oculus. It's just
Mm-hmm.
sitting there, right by a pile of magazines and other junk that just sits on the floor. So
Yeah.
I've got some Oculus glasses sitting there, but yeah, it didn't grab me. I have to admit, it was one of those things where it was sort of cool. It was fun to play with for a bit of time, but yeah, it's not something I'm like, I got to do more of this.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. Some people saying, meh, nothing special. So some people do have it and nothing great on it. All right, but Meta, it's doing some stuff. Yeah, you know what? I will add Meta to our list. It looks very active right now. And Meta usually pre-market, they don't give you a great pre-market activity unless there's something going on or something that they like. So to see this pop here up 3.2 looks like it's very nice. Well, we should definitely watch it. Let's see what takes place here.
But you know what, Carlos, I keep seeing ads for is the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. Have you seen,
Yeah,
like, they're running
that's the one I'm
ads all the
talking
time? The
about.
one with Chris Helmsworth and
Hmm.
the Chris's, aren't they? Helmsworth and Pratt? Aren't
Yeah,
I think it's the two of them that are in the ads. Anyways, they seem to
yeah,
be advertising the heck out of them. I mean, at least they look like glasses. They don't look like that doesn't make you look like an idiot.
yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Ray-Ban glasses. Yeah, they
Oh,
look nice. They look really
yeah.
nice.
I
So
mean, they Andrew uses them to pick stocks. Does he really? Anyways, I mean, that to me, that's a smart use of the technology. I again, is it worth it? I really don't know, but
how much
I
are those
haven't.
things? I never looked it up. How much is that?
That's a good $300
That's not bad.
Canadian, so it's like $200 US,
It's not
250.
bad.
So I mean, again, how effective? I don't think I've ever seen anybody with them, nor do I know anybody that said, I bought them. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, mm.
All right. All right, friends. What else? What else you guys like? So Meta is good. I'll put them on the list. Again, they're moving well right now, pre-market. And there's just been on a tear. So I do like that. Let's take a look what else we have here. So Meta, CRCL. We did look at this morning. I have it on my secondary list right now. I mean, it's a recent IPO. We have shares for short. Really? No, it's no way. Oh, we do. 1.2 million shares for short. That's interesting. Normally,
Yep.
IPO this early, you don't have that many shares for short. This thing IPO just a couple
Mm-mm.
of days ago, so that's been impressive. 1.2 million shares for short there. Um, what else here? We have AMD. Let's take a look at AMD, and then we'll head over to our community events and announcement, friends. AMD, yeah, not much going on. Up 2.4, 818,000 shares traded right now. So again, just up slightly, like Nvidia is. So I'll just watch Nvidia, but AMD, if you like that one, you can definitely put it on deck. But I don't see anything overly exciting on it for me to add it on the main list so far. All right, well, we'll call it here, friends. So again, my list so far: Tesla, POTR, Nvidia, and Meta. And on the secondary list, I got a bunch of stuff. QUBT, Oracle was great last week. Let's see what it does today here for a third day play. Volume did not die down at all. If you look at the daily here,
Can
from
this
Friday
is
to,
not
yeah. What's up?
sorry, I'm still looking at the glasses. It's
Oh,
what's wrong with them?
from
The-
Thursday to
not
Friday.
not impressive, not
Yeah,
impressive advertisement. I'm like, I want to see what they do. What can they do, right? Like, what's the
yeah, yeah.
capability? Could I live stream? Could I wear them for you guys in live stream? So I went to their website and I called up the AI glasses. Look what I'm getting. So far, not impressing me. If this is what your website is telling me, on the meta.com AI glasses, it's just giving me a spinning wheel of death.
That's not good.
Um, yeah. Hell, I mean, they look cool, right? Their ads are slick. The glasses look okay, but give me some details. Still spinning wheel.
Yeah,
Not
it
impressed, Meta.
it
Up
could
your
be.
game.
It's a very
Fix it.
hefty website. I mean, look at this. There's a lot of graphics to pull this stuff off.
Sure. That's
Got
beautiful,
Apple
but
like Apple
yeah.
like Oakley's. Okay, they got a couple of things here. Yeah, but I agree. You got to load. You got to load for our Canadian friends. You can't be out here spinning circle. And I know it's not your connection because you're streaming connected to me, so it's not definitely not that. All right,
No.
friends. So yeah, Oracle on here. We'll see. Again, as I mentioned before, like look at the volume did not die down at all from Thursday to Friday. So let's see if that can continue. I highly doubt it, but if it does, we could be in for a very nice day. Just look at the movement here. Let's see what the volume looks like today so far. 742,000. We got SATS, we got SCRCL, Roku, and also Oklo on here. So we got plenty of potentials. I can't get going. But before we get into all of that, friends, let's take a look at what's happening for today. Not these Ray-Ban glasses, but our webinars. Click on webinars at the top of barebootraders.com. You can head on over there, click webinar, scroll to the bottom, and you can see what's happening for the next 2 weeks. We'll start with this beautiful day, Monday.
It is a Monday, which means we get started on this week as we always do with our onboarding and technology series. Starting this morning with some live trading with Avi that happens at 11 a.m. And then Brendan's going to come on with this DAS Trader Pro series. Now, this is where he talks about the DAS platform and gives us information on how you can best use it and how you can leverage it. And it's always great, very informative. Hopefully you'll join. That's in the onboarding room, which means that everybody can join of all member classes. And well, it's going to be a neat week for these webinars because we got lots going on with them. So Brendan this weekend as a new dad was do you have that picture where he was showing how he's got a new workout routine? This is what happens when you become a dad.
I don't have that one.
Oh
Where he
well,
sent
here,
that in
hold
the
on.
chat.
Yeah,
Let me
let me
see.
here. I'll put it back up on the screen that I was sharing. And he said it's what do you say? It's traps day. He's got a new traps routine. So here he was doing the dad workout on the weekend. So you got to carry the stroller down the stairs and the baby in the other hand. And so there you go. That's the workout you get as a dad. So
Yeah,
whereas
yeah.
he used to spend lots of time in the gym, now there you go. So
There it is. There it is.
yeah, that's what life's like. It's the way it goes. Because of course you got his profile pic there, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's anyway.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
Where is he? All right, so those are our webinars throughout the day, and in the evening we have our onboarding class, and that onboarding class is something that Carlos proudly leads every week. Gives an opportunity for new members and experienced members alike to get familiar with the offerings that we've got and how to take most advantage of your Bearable Traders membership. So hopefully you'll join him. It is a good session. It's well worth your time, and it's a lot of fun. So go to there 8 o'clock tonight. Once again in the onboarding room. For all members, you can join. and hopefully, yeah, you take advantage of that. If you do want to join us, it's not too late. You could join right now and be part of the onboarding at 8, or even join Brandon and the Dash Trader Pro setup at noon. So go to bearbultraders.com and get the information. Click on the buttons to sign up for like the intro offer or one of our monthly packages, or if you're ready to jump right in, you can get the elite annual package, which is always your best deal. So if you're interested in taking advantage of that, Carlos will show you what that looks like on the web page. There it is. So there you go. So there's our offers and what you can do. Now, Carlos, we were talking about the intro deal.
Yep.
Do we have that deal? Is it
Yeah,
on
we do.
for
It's
19
we do
bucks?
have $19 for 2 weeks. There's a link out here.
Yeah.
Team will resend it again, but here it is. It's a link. I'll repost it. You could try this out for 2 weeks for $19. So that's out there.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh,
So if you want to get a discount off that for only 19 bucks, you can take advantage of that deal. So it's go. Look, there you go. So off
I
you
don't
go. Off you
understand
go to the
this.
races.
Mm,
The other thing that you can take
yes.
advantage of, if you go to our website and check it out, you can get you can try the funded account. Now, the funded account option is a little bit different, where we actually give you an account that you can use to trade. Now, you are trading in a simulator. However, Andrew's going to back you, and he's going to put money behind it. And if you actually make money over the course of your simulated activities, he will pay you a cash equivalent to the cash you would have made in that simulator. And we have a number of winners that have sort of successfully completed that program and made their money. And we would call them winners, but frankly, they earned it. They did the hard work. They demonstrated that you can become a successful trader, and that's what we're looking to do, is try and help and develop traders and just create those success stories so that people understand that this is possible. Easy? Absolutely not. Possible? Absolutely, right? So go check it out if it's something you want to do. The cost you pay really just covers the cost of the simulator, right? We have to pay for the software and the program management, so that's really what that fee pays. But it could be a great investment if you think you're ready to step up to that challenge, and maybe you don't have the money yet to put into your account to fund it. This could be a great way to do it, right? Do it in a simulator. Again, Andrew will pay it, and the course could literally pay for itself and so much more. So check it out. Again, go to our website, and then you can put in funded account and get the information. It's right in there. It's a good opportunity. You do not have to be a member necessarily to do it. You could just get the funded account on its own, but we highly recommend that, of course, you be part of some community, because it always helps through your trading journey. So feel free to check that out as well. Carlos, why don't we set some levels on things, because we're getting close to the open here. Then I'll let everybody know what our moderators are watching as they get their lists in, and we'll go from there.
Yep, absolutely. We don't have a lot much to set. I got only 4 tickers, so we'll run through this very quickly, and we'll see what our moderators are watching, as Peter mentioned. So Tesla, towards the bottom, you're pretty much set. Going to mark down the low of the pre-market, sitting at 329.28. And then once you do that, friends, you're pretty much taken care of there. Towards the top, you do have a level right here on the daily where there's a lot of touches. Let me get you that chart right on here. 341.15. So a lot happening there. Above that, just in case we have a decent run here today, around 348, 348.16 covers most of the places where you're seeing some touches here on the daily on Tesla. And Tesla, that's all you have to really worry about. Towards the bottom, highs and lows, previous day close. Plenty of major levels here that are set for you. BOTR is next as it continues to push higher here. We are up 2.1 million shares traded. So high of the pre-market 140.75. The low, just in case, 138.72. And towards the bottom, guys, you can see plenty of nice levels, highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, previous day close. A lot of support taking place there. 52-week high, yes, all-time highs. I don't want to say yes yet, but yes. All-time, yeah. Wow, look at the monthly on POTR. So all-time highs on POTR, looking really nice. Man, look at this move. This stock's just been on fire. Again, they're a defense, right? They're a defense contractor, I think it is. So they're doing pretty well right now, given all this stuff happening. So that's your all-time high there, 140.75, and that's all you need. Towards the bottom, you're pretty much set. NVIDIA is next. stuck between the highs and lows of the last two trading days, and not really doing much. Again, just this range, very strong range, 145, and we could use the previous day close as of the bottom of that range around 142, 141.97 to be exact. And a couple of times we did dip lower below that, but we managed to get right back into its back and forth action. So um, I'm just gonna mark down the low of the pre-market. The high of the pre-market is slamming into the highs from Friday, so I don't really have to worry too much about that. In case we do get going high, the last time we've been up here, which is probably when we set our all-time high, was back in December, January timeframe. So we'll pick off 2 days here. This one, two levels here, 147.73, and then right up here around 152.05. Once you do that, you're set on Tesla. Last but not least, making some good noise today is Meta. So Meta here this morning, high of the pre-market, right at 705. So I'll put one here at 705. And then on the daily, you can see highs and lows for the last two trading days all over this place. But a nice pop into the pre-market right before the market open here. Just about 6.5 to go. And we'll see where it goes here. Looks pretty good. All right, Peter, what is our team watching today?
All right, our team is starting to get their list in, but not all of our team. Like Brian's on a cruise, so Brian's away. He will not be live trading, but Andrew is here already, and he's absolutely going to be live trading. So Avi's in; he's watching the SPY as always. Andrew says he's going to be watching Tesla, PLTR, AMD, Nvidia, Oklo, and Meta. So big list for Andrew. Lots of stuff to potentially look at. Phil going to be watching PLTR, Meta, Tesla, Nvidia, and OKLO. Gary is going to be watching ASTS and Tesla. I've got my list. It's just the usual stuff: Tesla, Nvidia, PLTR, Apple, AMD, and Novo Nordisk. I'll keep an eye on that. Thor is going to be watching Apple and PLTR in addition to his futures. And Brendan, the guy we were just talking about, is going to be watching OKLO, Tesla, CRCL, and AMD. So there you go. That's what we've got going. Andrew's going to be trading live with you, and I'm not sure if he's got a special guest coming. We'll find out together. And of course, Carlos and I will be taking you live if you're sticking with us on YouTube here, right through well through the open. So let's get going.
All right, excellent, friends. Gonna disconnect from chat. See Andrew ready to go, and we'll let you guys do your thing. Good luck, guys, and we'll continue here on our chat on YouTube. Let me go ahead and mute Andrew here. I don't hear double, and okay, we're set. Switch our screens over, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, I gotta convert my screens over here. Get things moving.
Okay.
Carlos, how you feeling today? You think we're gonna get some great trades?
I don't know, man. I don't feel too optimistic today with the list. Definitely not. If this
Yeah.
is what we're getting, I don't think it's gonna be great.
Yeah. See,
But
that's sort of how I'm feeling too.
yeah, I don't think it's gonna be a great day, to be honest. I'm not feeling
What? I
uh
think the open's going to be slow. I don't feel great about the
I think
open
it's gonna be
here, but I
messy.
do
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that yeah
And when you say slow,
later
what do you
on.
mean? You mean choppy, right? Is that what you're
Well,
saying? What do you mean by
yeah,
slow?
choppy. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
exactly, choppy.
okay, good, good.
I don't
I
think
feel the
things are
same
going to
way.
take off in one direction or another.
Right, right. Um, yeah, I feel the same, man. That's my vibe. So I'm not excited about that. Usually I feel like I'm gonna find something here and we're gonna crush it, but don't feel like that at all today. So
CRCL. I didn't put it on my list, but maybe I should have. It's got like the best volume this morning, almost 3 million shares. Well, and this S
CRCL.
bet.
Yeah, I'm actually I did add Nvidia to my main list. Nvidia. And what else I had here? And Meta. Let me add Meta as well to the banner below. So just those four, and two of these, they're really not in play. We're just so used to watching them that I just put them on
Yeah.
here. So um, really nothing happening there. Good. Where's our good store on here? Or you like Apple? Which store? Thor. Apple.
Oh
Let's
my
take a look.
goodness.
APL. Yeah, Apple's
Allergies
another
are
one
acting up today.
you could look at as well. Supposed to be getting rain like every day this week, so that's not
Oh yeah.
fun. Yeah, it's
Mm.
cloudy and ugly and humid. So
Yeah, I heard it was very humid in Washington this
yeah,
weekend,
it's been humid, man.
but only because they were mentioning that when they were had coverage of the the Trump parade. So
yes, the military
apparently
parade,
the
army two
Army
hundred
parade.
and
Well,
fifty. Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Umberto, Umberto. First of all, Umberto, make sure you're live. I think you were like 10 minutes behind last time, right? But yeah, Etsy does not normally trade very well, so I usually don't keep an eye on it. It doesn't get great volume. But hey, today's a day where you could definitely look at it because I don't see anything else that I can say, hey, this is way better this morning. So take a look at it. It might be good for the way you trade. For the way I trade, I never have any luck on Etsy. So and only 26,000 shares traded. So no volume really this morning. Did I watch the parade? No, man. I barely watch TV. So I didn't watch the parade. If I watch something, it's movies on my time. Live stuff, it's not gonna happen. With the kids and family and other events, if it's live, yeah, I mean, I can watch the recording on YouTube, but I barely do that. Here's the bell, ding, 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 and let's go.
yeah. Here's the bell. We'll see what we get here.
See what the action
Oh,
is.
that's Tesla dropping.
Mm.
Oh, Roku. You know what? I forgot to put Roku on my list.
We
Take a look at
talked about it. I have it in my
Roku.
secondary. Um,
Mm. I just see in the chat room, George was putting in that Roku is popping. So we'll see. It is popping
yeah,
up
it's
here.
going up
Nvidia
here.
popping up a bit. Remember Nvidia on Thursday? It was hitting its head on that 145 number. The Friday it didn't test that at all, but today we'll see. Maybe it'll go back and see if we end up with that crazy wall of orders we had at 145 build
Yeah,
again. It was amazing. There was like 2.5 million visible shares sitting there, which is a, which means that it's like the tip of the iceberg, right? It's probably only ten
yeah,
percent of the actual shares that were sitting at 145. So
right. Got the 1 minute here. I got Nvidia on the 1 minute. Again, as usual, guys, I wait 3 minutes to after the market open to take any trades. So we'll see if anything sets up for us.
yeah, yeah, but a bunch of stuff is popping up here. Roku, Oklo, CRCL, PLTR, Nvidia, all jumping up. Not huge, but still. Wow,
Let's
Tesla really
see.
can't decide where it wants to go. Thinks it wants to drop, but maybe not. But maybe yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I gotta shut
UBT
down
did
some.
pop up here.
Okay, LO
Meta,
hitting 71 now. $4 move.
LTR doing some stuff. Wow, look at Tesla. Tesla, nice drop here.
Well, Carlos, if there's anything we can take heart in, it's that Andrew hasn't taken a trade yet. So
Okay.
so we're not. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
we're not that far
True.
behind.
Not that far behind here. Uh, your TR is gonna go. I don't know what the play would have been here, but looks like it wants to head a little higher. See, now for 5 minute RB becomes so difficult with how extended it just became here. So unless you get a good pullback, ABCD pattern, it becomes tough to trade. At least for me, it does. Meta up and down, but volume is so light on Meta, so very difficult to read the price action. QUBT came right back down after hitting 18, 1795. It's just got a bunch of possibles. Roku. Oh, Oklo took off. Yeah, I see that outhold. Yeah, Oklo took off, man. That thing is gone. Wow. It's just ripping. Very nice, very nice. What else? I don't see anything I like. Nvidia setting up here. OTR, nice. Tesla pulling back. Tesla could be a good 5 minute ORB with this pullback here if we can get a little bit higher, like 329, and then the rejection around that area would be nice for a 5 minute ORB if we can get that. 329.33. And let's see here. Oh, nothing, guys. Anything, Peter? Anything?
No, not for me. I was just listening to Andrew. He tried Nvidia to catch it long for a bounce,
Yep.
but stopped out on
There
that.
it is.
So I see
Yep.
Eamon.
Yep.
Eamon's got a trade on PLTR, so he did manage to
Okay.
get a little bit
Nice.
of that move. I mean, there were trades out here right off the open. If you're an opening range break trader, you just
Yep.
had to be
Yep.
very sharp on them. OKLO, obviously, PLTR. Those are probably the two best ones.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Short, if you took Tesla short, you had to have some guts to hold it, but you could have gotten a little bit of a move on that.
Got some
Andrew's
stuff in
trying
the
PLTR long
Spanish.
now, trying the bounce on
Neon.
PLTR.
That looks messy. Uh, oh, Nvidia bouncing off the VWAP. Um, PLTR looks good. Andrew is long PLTR. Yeah, I did mention that, right? Andrew's long PLTR, so nice. Ah, Tesla was a good short. Didn't quite get to 329, but it did give you a nice pullback. And then look at the drop there. At least the low of the day was your first like target. At least for me, it's my first target there. Yeah, Kylie, I do see that on Tesla now. So yeah, yep, yep, yep. What else we got going on? Nvidia trying to get going.
Yeah,
LTR looking
I
to
don't know.
break.
I'm thinking I need to get more aggressive at the open and just start taking some of these momentum plays because I see them every day, but it's never been something I've been very confident in or good at.
Yeah,
But
yep.
uh, but they're there. Oh, Brendan in the chat room. He traded CRCL. Wow, he got that VWAP bounce off of CRCL, so took it from 150 up to the 156 it's trading at now. So good for him.
Nvidia's going here. Oracle didn't really get the volume, so not like we saw last week. At least the start right now. CRCL, for those that were watching that one, that popped up pretty good. Yep. Ecam and USAM. Yep. Those did very good there. Okay, Oracle's trying to do something here above the VWAP. We're watching Oracle. I can't tell you what kind of day it is. I'm watching Oracle. um, Dave, 30% plus on a CRCL options done for the day. Dave, that is awesome, man. Good stuff. Yeah, look at this thing. $7 from the VWAP. That is beast mode on that ticker right now. So Meta dropping, Nvidia. Nvidia wants to go. Nvidia could be a good 5-minute ORB. That could be.
Anders long PLTR taking some off here at the high.
Tesla. Good morning, Leah. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, take care of that job. Take care of the job. Take care of the steady income until this becomes something for you. Good. It'll be here. It's not going anywhere. Be here waiting for you. So Nvidia. Man, I don't see anything I love. Oklo, maybe.
Wow, Anders getting a good move here on PLTR. Took a big size.
Nice.
He added to it actually for the 144 break. So
PLTR is just such a beast. Uh, Tesla, yeah, Jonathan. I'm watching Tesla. I do want to see if we can get above the view. Though it looks a little bit weak right now. Compared
yeah,
to
it looks
everything
weak.
else, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, if anything, it could be bouncing off the view up here lower. But again, we'll wait for our move if we can get it. We'll wait for it. Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, just gotta get the rejection here of the VWAP. Yeah, for sure. On the other hand, it actually looks pretty good. I thought you meant like long, but we gotta wait. We gotta see a good clear rejection, right? If not, this is gonna be making our move off of VWAP, and we gotta wait for the pullback and the confirmation counts for at least 3-4 minutes before we see what we like on Tesla here. Nvidia came back down. PLTR took off. PLTR was the trade of the day. One of the trade of the day was PLTR. This thing is just beautiful. Look at this go, guys. Very, very nice. No, I didn't take it, Raytrix. Andrew took it. Andrew took PLTR. I'm slow on the trigger today, man. It's definitely not great. Not great start to the week. Tesla pullback and maybe confirmation candle here on Tesla for long. At least try to get a high of the day. Let's see. Let's see if I'm not gonna rush it though.
No, that's smart. I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll
it did come up just above VWAP here, but Carlos, I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
skeptical, but I'm always
Yeah.
skeptical. So like Nvidia here, it's hanging out at VWAP. I feels like it's sort of just range bound here. Look at PLTR go though; it is just moving, just moving.
Eight. Yeah, PTR was all time highs
Yep.
this morning on PTR. It's a good
Mm-hmm.
rejection of Tesla. Do we want to go short here? Tesla rejection of VWAP. The risk to reward is okay. Stop will be 330. Let's see what we do here.
I don't know, Carlos.
You don't know. You don't
Tesla
know.
just keeps getting. Yeah,
It's choppy.
Tesla's.
It's. There's no question. It's choppy. Yep.
There's just you get the sort of the irrational support of it, right? Like it seems to me that sometimes it moves higher when you think there's no way this thing should move higher, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And then it does. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Gustavo's asking what are the lines on my chart. So we had this blue one here is the VWAP. So that's your VWAP there. And then these are just moving averages, right? The closest ones to the price action is going to be the 9, the 20, the 50, and the 200. These two you really don't really
I
care
know.
too much about.
Yeah, I notice you don't color code your moving averages, eh? Just
No, no, no.
it's all
Because
the same.
yeah, because I figure like it's closer to the move to the price. I could tell which one they are, but yeah, I don't color cut them, code them. I tried before and it was like, ah, it's too many colors. It was like it's too much. So I
Too
like
much.
this. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Keep it simple. But yes, you can't change the color of these guys. I mean, that's just so flexible. You could do a lot of that to make it easier. Could be also too because I don't use them as much, Peter. Right? That's probably why I'm usually
Right.
using off the VWAP. Like if I was to use the 920 quite a bit, then yeah, it would make sense to have them color coded. Let's see. Tesla rejecting again. POTR 144.71 is your high. No signs of slowing down. Here it is. Here's the 9. Just holding on to 9 nicely here. Here's a 20 right behind. I mean, this is such a bullish. Look at this bullishness here, man. Oh, it's a beautiful thing. I got one of my good mentees from boot camp, and he is trading awesome, but he's taking everything off too early.
Huh.
I told him, man, just take 80%. Like he's taking it off, and the move's still going $2. And I was telling me, listen, I know you don't like parsley, but just take 80%. Don't take everything off. Um, and then last week he still did. He still took everything off. I'm like, dude, just take 80%. And then if you see that you're making the 20% is making extra money, then take 50% off. But you know, it's hard to change when you have something that's working. It's hard to make the change. But
Yeah.
want to make more money, you know, try this and see if it works. Uh, Everything's kind of moving down a bit here. Meta dropping. Nvidia's just pure chop above the view up here. Nothing going on, friends. Is anyone in POTR? Andrew's in POTR. He got in on. I'll show you exactly where he got in here. You can see this live too, by the way, guys, over at baywardtraders.com. And we got a special deal for you guys. It's $19. Where's the link? We got to get this. This link was loaded weird. We got to fix that. So we'll work with our guys to get that. I think I know the reason why. Where is it? It's over here. Brand new link. There it is. $19 gets you in. There it is. Gets you in $19 for 2 weeks, I believe it is, right? Where's the 2 weeks? It says 1 week. I thought it was 2 weeks.
I thought no, I think it's just 1 week, isn't it? I mean, our normal is just for 1 week. I don't
Okay.
know.
Oh, it is. I thought it was 2 weeks when I gotta look at my meeting notes. I put 2 weeks down on my notes there. So, all right, 1 week, still good. $19 gets you everything, educational material and chat room. Really can't beat that. So that's a pretty good deal. Check that link out. I'm gonna put it on here. You can see Andrew and those folks trading live there.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
I took a screenshot of Andrew's trade. You can see he took this is his trade on PLTR,
Yeah.
just like Carlos was saying, where he got in, and oops, here he got in here, partial, partial, partial. You can see he added again right now, so he's trying to get another move higher, but may end up stopping him out. But obviously, he made good profit on this along the way, so good for him. Did well.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I wrote 2 weeks here, but you know what? It could have been we were just talking it through and we settled on 1 week. Either way, 1 week is still great. You can't beat that. I like Vio's comment. He's like, "Yeah, I remember it being 2 weeks. Yeah, like you were in the meeting, huh?" I'm sure. Very conveniently, you remember it being 2 weeks, of course.
Yeah.
Friends, Nvidia is trying to do something here. Meta. Let's go through my. Oh, look at QUBT. Wow, that's awesome. Good breakout on QUBT. Very nice. Hmm. Very, very nice. All right, what else, friends? What else is going on? No trades for me yet. Have not really seen anything I like. Peter, I think you have no trades either.
I do not. Yeah, I'm just watching here.
I think Nvidia might be setting up for a nice breakout here. I love the way the 5 minute looks. Do I trust the breakout? I don't know. It's been very choppy, especially on the 1 minute. But you possibly have a 5 minute ORB setting up here off the body, right? So that could be something. That could be something. Oh, I lost. What's the chat room? I lost my chat room. Ah, there it is. Got it. Uh, is Andrew still in POTR? Yes, he's in. He's in. He's got a limit order at 145. So he's looking to take a partial at 145. But yeah, he's still in. I mean, his entry was all the way at 140 to 50th, 50.25 or so. So it's pretty good entry. All right, we guys. Yes, let's try and let's try Nvidia. Let's try Nvidia. Let's try Nvidia. Maybe possible breakout. I'm gonna keep my stop really tight. It should be below the VWAP, but I don't know if we're gonna want to wait that long. I want to see this go right away to the high of the day and higher if we can. But I gotta say the confidence of this trade working out is so low. It is
Confidence
so
is very
low.
low.
Oh, it's very low. But the setup is there.
O-
Uh, you know,
OKLO just went below VWAP, so it's
let's see. Let's see what happens here. Come on, Nvidia, you can do it.
Tesla.
Nvidia's gonna give us a one and done for the day to start the week.
Mm.
One and done, Nvidia. Come on, make it happen. 5 minute ORB. Get to the high of the day. Maybe get to 145. and we'll be very happy with that. What does the daily levels look like on this? Yeah, 145 is exactly where we want to get to. There it is, 145. So here's
145 is where that big order was sitting again last week.
yeah,
So it's definitely an area that I think will continue to have
yep.
support. So, or,
See if we can get there.
see what we get, Carlos. It's watching Tesla here. I sort of like Tesla for a short. I just again, I find it difficult to take Tesla short just because it keeps getting the support when you don't think it should. But
Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Pushing higher in NVIDIA, nice. See if we get 145. Keep going, keep going. Push through. Secondary list, Roku. Just going through my secondary stuff here. Oracle managed to, no, that's not Oracle. I was going to say, it's very confusing. CRCL and ORCL.
CRCL, yeah,
Yeah, you got to
yeah,
be
that does
careful,
look very
man.
similar, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, wait, Oracle took off here. No, it's CRCL.
Yeah,
Oracle is still stuck.
CRCL,
So
yeah, very
careful,
different.
careful. Yep, yep, yep. Um, Brian, do we use no brainberries? Oh, interesting. Uh,
Brian,
no, we don't
Brain,
use. Yeah, we don't use bookmap,
Brain.
but it's very good. People love it. Brian, speaking of
Yeah,
Brian, he
yeah,
uses it all the time.
Brian.
He usually shares it in chat. Um, Thor uses it. Who else? Peter. There's a bunch of modders that love it. Off the top of my head, those two use it on a regular basis, especially
Yeah.
Brian.
It's a good tool. I mean, it doesn't give you any. I don't think it gives you any new information, but it gives you a different way of looking at the information, right? I mean, I can pretty much get the same
Oh,
things out of the level two. What it does
yeah.
give you is a little bit of historical information, and it's easier to look forward and see what orders are sitting sort of in the future, just the way it visualizes it. So
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong with it. It's a great tool, um, and you just have to. You just spend a little more time getting to understand it, and then a little more bandwidth to interpret the data. But Carlos, your NVIDIA trade is working here. You're at the high.
Yeah, 144.50. I'm trying to be so patient to wait for 145 before I take a
Mhm.
partial, but I can't do it, man. I'm taking a partial now.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it has bounced so many times, so be careful.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The asks though, the ask is insane. Like if you look at it here,
Yeah. I
let's see if
know.
it pops up again. But the orders, man, they're wild. Let's
I'm
see if we
telling
can
you.
get another.
Yeah, we've got 800, 900,000 shares sitting at 145 right now. So, and again, whenever you see orders on the order book, that's probably only about 10% of the real picture. So,
Yeah, yep. But even earlier at 144.50, it was just a ton before we hit it, right? Just sitting at that whole dollar number. They're gone now, obviously, but 144.50 just had all these massive orders sitting there. There they start to build up again. Let's see if we get 145. Yeah, I'm gonna. I took just one partial. And I'm gonna try to be as patient as I can with this one to see if we can get to 145. But if we start like hitting 144.40, 144.30, and it starts to look weak, then I'm gonna take more partials just to kind of protect myself from it coming back to my break even. Let's see if this momentum can continue. Spy's helping it. Um, Spy's pushing higher, so that's helping the situation. Let's see. Let's see what it does here. Big numbers on the ask on QUBT. Yeah, let's look at QUBT. I know that was one that was took a nice jump. Oh, keeps going. There it is. QBT is looking to have one of those Thursday, Friday type days, right? Where it traded very, very well. It's just moving pretty nice here. Um,
All right. PLTR is still sitting here. Tesla's just caught in a range. So this is why I wanted to avoid Tesla. I just wasn't confident of it dropping. It's it's now in this, yeah, 329.50 to 328 range. Nvidia's edging closer here to testing the 145. Carlos, I think it's going to have trouble again today. It looks like it's getting some
yeah,
resistance as it gets closer. Just so many orders sitting up there.
yeah. I'm inclined to actually take another partial here because
Well, and it makes sense because look at
yeah,
how many orders are front end loading. Like 145's got this massive size, but leading up to it, we can see orders at like every 5
hmm
cents.
yeah,
44.75, 80, 85, 90, 90. Like there's just orders all the way. So
yeah. Oh, here we
let's see
go.
what it can
Getting
do
through some of
here.
those
Making a push
orders.
though.
All
Yeah,
right.
churning through some.
Just double clicking here. Make sure I'm ready to activate the montage. Or my hotkey, right? You do that, you double click, even though you know you're selected the montage. It's just a habit, just double clicking and then hitting the hotkey. So yeah, just a habit. Or I can just click the montage here and it does the job.
Did
I
you ever
think this is
see the?
close enough. I'm gonna take a partial here, man. I think that's very close. We'll see if we can get going. Um, let's see. I
I,
haven't seen what?
I ran across this great video on the weekend that my daughter showed me, and I said it is 100% true because she was like saying, "Is this Dad? Is this thing real?" And it was just like it was the guy test. So there was a guy that like anyways, he had his girlfriend and a bunch of her friends, and he put a bunch of objects on the table in front of them and told them to pick them up one at a time to see if they could pass the guy test, and they all failed. So it's like a pair of barbecue tongs, and he said just
Okay.
pick them up. And they're like, well, how? What do I do with them? He said, just pick them up. And they pick up the barbecue tongs, and some of them picked it up one way, and some picked it up another. And it's okay, put it down. Now, what was the other one? Pick up a rubber band, an elastic band, right? Pick it up, and they pick it up. So it was a guy test because if you're a guy and you pick up a pair of tongs, what do you have to do? You have to double click it, right?
Yes. You
Yeah,
gotta
like
click
there's
it.
no
You gotta
way.
click it.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
way and it's not just one. You got to click. Like
Twice.
there,
Yeah.
you
Make
pick up
sure
a
it's
pair of
working.
barbecue tongs. Yeah,
You
you
gotta make sure
got
it's
it.
working.
It's 100% required.
Yep.
Apparently, only if you're a guy. I didn't realize that. So, and the elastic, you don't just pick up an elastic band like this. You pick it up and you stretch it to make sure it doesn't break. Right? Like it's. I don't know. To me, that's what you do with it. Anyways, he had a bunch of those things, and it was just very funny because I'm like, yeah, I would exactly do that same action with every one of these things. Pick up a lighter. You can't just pick up a lighter and hold it. The girls are just picking up the lighter. Like, what do you want me to do with it? He's like, just pick it
We're
up.
like, whoop,
Like,
start playing with
like
it.
I pick up a lighter. The very first thing I do is I'm lighting it. Like, I don't. It's I
So
don't
it's
know.
the
It's
thing.
just what I'm doing.
Definitely done. I know for a fact I done the two clicks. No question. No
Oh
question. I
yeah,
done the two
that
clicks.
one's the
Yeah.
like I don't even know how you. It doesn't seem like should be physically possible to pick it up and not click it. You gotta, like you said, you gotta make sure it works. I know it sounds
Yeah.
ridiculous, but yeah, it's a thing.
It's so
Anyways,
true.
I found that
You
very
guys are
funny.
gonna catch yourself doing that. When you do it, you're gonna think of us. You're gonna think of
Yeah,
Peter. Like, oh,
there you
Peter's
go.
talked about this.
That's right.
All right, so three partials in. I took another one off just in case, we start getting toppy here. But this candle looks good if we can get green here. This looks good. Oh, that doesn't look great. We need that momentum
Yeah.
to keep going.
Yeah, well, no, see, good thing you took the partials, Carlos, because exactly
Yeah,
like I said, this is exactly what it did. If you look back Thursday, not Friday, but Thursday, how it
yeah,
it tested that 145 level, and sometimes it would get closer, and sometimes farther away. But I don't know. There is somebody that's like just selling heavy every time you get up close to that number.
yeah. I'm gonna
So
take another one here just to protect my shares. Um,
you, I mean, look, I don't know your entry. Yeah, I mean, you might be able to survive all day. This thing could very well stay up here.
yeah,
It's
yep,
I don't know how long you want to hang out in that trade, but
yeah, yeah, yeah. We could survive this. I mean, maybe I'll leave like some couple of shares left if we do decide to go up above 145.
hmm,
We'll see.
put a just put a range order in, and
Yeah, yeah. In IB broker, I bought 200 UK QUBT, and when I tried to take partial, I got an error. No short sales allowed. I ended up closing the position. I couldn't take the partial. Uh, there's a reason why this happens. If you are long and you got limit orders right in place to take partials, there's a reason. Like there's a way to do it. Like if you have orders out already and you try to
I just put the
partial again with
partial.
the limit orders, what it'll do is it'll think that you are gonna short the stock because the order limit there will make you short if you're selling more than the 200. So it's a weird combination. I've seen that happen with DAS. But yes, this is like a
You should,
weird thing that
yeah,
happens.
you should. I mean, yeah, you should have been able to partial if you owned 200
Yeah,
shares. You should be able to sell any part of that at any time. That
yeah.
should.
But if you have like open limit orders that amount to 200
Mm,
and then you try to partial there and it's going to be like, let's say 250 now because that partial, then that will block you, right? Unless you cancel one of the limit orders and then you can sell the
mm.
250, right? So something weird like that. Um,
That's true. Actually, that's a good point, Carlos. If you do have a limit order and then you try and manually take some shares, it would take the total, yeah, the total number of shares based on all the orders that you've submitted and say, oh, well, it looks like you're trying to short because you'd have a limit order for the 200, but you're going to manually, so you have to cancel the limit order first, then you could partial.
yeah.
So I
If
have seen
that's not
that.
the case, yeah, if you're saying
Yeah, if
you
you don't
didn't
have any
have any
limit orders,
limit
then I
orders,
don't know.
then I don't know. It shouldn't
Yeah.
happen. Yeah, it shouldn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, errors do happen within the software sometimes. It could be that. It's tough for us to say. Yeah, see,
All right.
Tesla
We'll sit and wait here, see
still in the
what
range.
NVIDIA does.
Yeah, Nvidia, it looks like it's pulling back a little more than you would hope, what isn't it, Carlos?
Yeah, yeah. Well, at this part, so I took 10, 10, 10, and I took a lot more here because I kind of think the move was done. And this I could just sit and wait. I'm not worried about
Mm,
what's left, so we'll just sit and wait. If we can get to 145, great. If we stop at a break even, it's fine. But really thought we were gonna get to 145. That would have been nice.
mhm.
But we'll see. Yeah, but someone asked me what's the parceling. So 10% here, 10% here, and then here I took a lot more because I figured this is not looking good. Like if this candle would have kept going up, oh, that would have been great. But the fact that it closed red like this, it's not a good sign. So then the rest will get out and break even. With the cash account, partials are not going through. Oh, cash account. Oh, it still go through. Just call them and find out. Hey, why is it not going through? There might be something in the way you're placing your order that's rejecting it. That's not catching it properly. If you
Yeah,
own 200, if you own 200 shares, you'll be able to sell your 200 shares with no problem. So
yeah,
something
or
is off.
any part
That's the
of.
one reason that me and Peter have come across with other members that they'll have a limit orders that amount to the total amount, and then you say, no, I'm not gonna wait for the limit order at 145. I'm gonna take a partial now, and they say, hey, you're now gonna have 250, which puts you on a short position. So give them a call; they'll figure it out. Um, let's see here.
All right, guys. Well, we did actually end up getting some moves off the open. I'm surprised actually. Some okay moves. It's flattened out pretty quick though. I mean, we're only sitting here. It's only 8 minutes after 10,
Yeah,
and it feels like the market's already slowed down.
in
So
PLTR, beautiful move on PLTR. Ah, look at Tesla broke out.
yeah, you see
Tesla
how it's
broke out
tried to
here.
break down, and then it sort of bounced back the other way. So
Yeah, yeah.
right after.
Wow, Tesla's trying to make a move here. Let's see if we can get to the high of the day here, 3205. They didn't really make our move here. This would have been a tough entry. Like if you're looking for the break, this pullback was not really a pullback confirmation candle. That would have been tough, and it's too high. I think it's risk to reward's not great, especially with the high of the day being your first target. I don't think I would enter that trade. But good breakout continuation. UTR pulling back, Nvidia pulling back. We'll stop out at break even here on Nvidia for the rest. Hopefully you can go back up and hit 145 will be nice. And Meta consolidating right above the VWAP and looks like it might want to break out. And then you guys talking about AMD. What did AMD? Oh, Peter, did you check out AMD?
Yeah, AMD had a good steady move.
Yeah.
I sort of saw that, but I never really, you know, didn't didn't watch it close enough, I guess, to really feel that there was a good entry opportunity on it.
Yep. Yep. Meta wants to go. Meta wants to do some stuff here. Let's see. I really thought with all the tension going on, we were not going to have a green day today. That was going to be a lot more red, but guess not. Some people are calling it the calm before the storm. I hope not. I hope there's no storm. We don't need no more storms. Just need to just chill, relax.
No
Just chill.
storms. We
Let's just
want
chill. Let's
quiet.
just chill. Yep. Everybody just take a step back. Wow, QBT. Friends, this is another one that traded very good. Oracle, not much. SATS, not much. CRCL, okay. Roku, garbage. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this off my thing. Garbage today. Oklo came back. And Meta. Meta's going.
Andrew's busy like getting all down on cruises. I mean,
Yeah.
Carlos, knowing Andrew, I can understand. He's not a cruise guy.
Oh no, he'll end up on the water trying to swim to shore or
Yeah,
something like it. Yeah, he's no
yeah.
way.
He's
We are
not.
not.
Actually, I don't know. Does he swim? I'm not sure if he's a swimmer, but anyways, but yeah, like I just can't see him. That's the cruise lifestyle is not him. But he's like, ah, it's terrible. Just book your own thing and go and explore. Andrew doesn't seem to understand. Most people don't want to climb a mountain in their spare time. Like that's just not.
Some people
You
just
know?
want to sit down and just
Yeah,
take in the sun and be
yeah,
fed and drink
yeah,
alcohol. Yeah, that's
yeah.
it. That's it.
And that's just
And there's
not
more people
how.
like that want to do that instead of the mountain
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. He's that's But I get how he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
So. I think a cruise would, yeah, bore him silly.
Will torture
But
him. Man, to be confined to a ship,
yeah,
not his style. Wow, look at Meta, friends. You guys take Meta. We were talking about it here. It's consolidating above the VWAP. Uh, Here trying to get to the high of the day. Where's the adrenaline on a cruise ship? There's not. There's not. There's probably is not unless you're gonna jump on one of those. Some of them come with like slides that you can
yeah, but those are
get
like
on.
that's like fake adrenaline. Like Andrew, you know, Andrew needs like the real "I'm about to die" feeling. I think. I'm amazed he hasn't done like base jumping or
Yeah,
skydiving or anything. It doesn't seem to be his thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if one day he sort of told us, "Guess what I took up this weekend?"
yeah, yeah.
Norm is
I
Norm is
ran
a
into I
skydiver.
was just gonna say I ran into a picture. This remember thing that it comes up.
Yeah,
It was like probably 3 weeks ago, and it was the picture that Norm shared with us when he was
yeah,
skydiving with the tube, like whatever, with the boat.
yeah. Well,
It's
he said he
wild.
did like I don't know how many hundreds of jumps, but
Oh yeah,
yeah, he
he's
was
a
like
professional. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, he was like very active. I had no idea, So
Jumping out
yeah.
of planes, jumping out of a good flying plane.
Yeah,
I don't
jumping out
know.
of
Who would
I
have
mean,
thought? That's the
yeah, the
thing.
plane was working, right?
The
So
plane
why'd
was
you jump
working,
out?
so yeah, over and over again. It's just
Yeah,
don't understand. So, but there you have it.
yeah, that's funny.
Nvidia trying to do some stuff here, bouncing off the 9 on the 5 minute, of somewhat of the 20 and the 9 and the 1 minute, but the 5 minute looks a lot cleaner. My thoughts on PLTR. I mean, right now, okay, I see you're looking for the breakdown. Yeah, you got the breakthrough here, the pullback. This is the confirmation candle. Yeah, that could be a nice one too. At least 140, 141 maybe. Stop loss got to be 143.36. Yeah, stop loss 143.36. If you want to risk more, you can 143.50, and then at least 141.50 actually could be a good area. Looks weak, but I'm thinking, man, you want a short, strong stock. That's another thing you got to consider.
Yeah.
This thing is strong. It could, even though it's making our move here, you can use this as a support area. But I can see a move. I can see a play here with a tight stop, right? I think even 43.20, like, gotta get out quick. Um, so yeah, depends on your risk tolerance. It's making the move. There's no question. It is making the move here. So just be mindful. It's a strong stock. Would I take this trade? Well, no, I wouldn't take it. 'Cause I'm talking to you about it now. And I'm not taking it, so I wouldn't take it. Right? So no, I wouldn't take it. I think it is. I have a feeling it's gonna drop. I just not too confident on it. Let's see what it does. All right, PTR. I'm sorry, Nvidia struggling here. I'm probably gonna take another partial on PTR.
Mm.
Let's see if it what it wants to do. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, Nvidia's trying to go. What platform? I'm using Dash Trader Pro. So we're using, here's the platform, Dash Trader Pro. It looks like this. So that's what we're using. Pretty cool platform. Very oh, you guys didn't see that. Here it is. Sorry, I put it on the wrong charts. So DAS Trader Pro, DAS Trader Pro. Really, really
Yep.
good. Really powerful. Excellent connection, especially for me here in Jersey. I mean, let's see what my connection is right now.
Not the most modern of graphics. We got to admit
Oh,
that.
it's yeah, it's like a IBM 200 system, like really, really old stuff. Um,
So yeah. But we pick it because it's fast, it's reliable. It's
yeah, it
actually
gets the
very
job
good if you
done.
travel. It's low latency, which is important if you get to like hotel connections where it
Yeah,
may be stable, but it's not very fast. You can still use it, still trade.
yeah.
So
I'm at network delay of 8. That's good.
8. Oh wow, you're
Yeah, I
like
get I get really good just because of how close I am to the servers. So if you're in Jersey, that this is what I'm getting. 7 and 15.
wow,
You're not that bad.
wow.
What are you? 30, 40?
No, but I'm at like 15 and 25. It's sort of
Okay, yes.
roughly.
That's still very good. Yeah.
So, which is still very yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's still very good.
Like when you're traveling, you'll get a network delay of about 300. I,
Yeah.
I always say up to about 300 milliseconds you can deal with. That's about a third of a second, right? As
Yep.
soon as you get up higher than that, that's when it starts to get
I,
problematic, really,
I
to try and.
traded at the worst I traded at was a 600, and you could see there was
Yeah,
definitely a lag big time.
yeah,
So did it
because
once,
you'd
never
enter your
again.
trade
Yeah.
and you're
Yep.
crossing your finger. It actually filled you somewhere near the price you think you're getting.
Right.
You
Right.
know, that's always
Yeah.
that's nerve wracking to try and trade that way. Like I'm so used to, you hit the button, you're filled instantly, right? So
Instantly. This
like
rarely you see the triangle kind of like show up a little bit empty,
right,
then it fills, but that's rarely do you see that.
yeah.
Um,
Oh wow,
what did
AMD
PLTR
really,
do?
you're right. AMD having a morning,
Which one? AMD is still going, right?
still going,
Wow,
slow and
AMD.
steady, slow
Very
and
nice.
steady today.
Yep. I'm still in Nvidia. We're struggling with this 144.60 now. Again, just a very tough area to try to break out from.
But your entry is now. Are you below VWAP? Not yet, eh? You're close.
Um, my entry, no, not yet. It's no, no, no. It's still need like 50 more cents, which will help if we can get that. But
Yeah.
it's not pushing up high enough to get me there.
What does Andrew? Huh?
What is Andrew showing? I see just this
He's
flickering.
he's yeah, he's like talking about the design, the cover design for his book. So
Oh, okay. Oh, these are the options.
uh no, it's an update of his trading for a living book. Hmm,
Gotcha, gotcha.
it's interesting. It's funny how Andrew likes the real simple book covers. I would, anyways.
Nvidia's pulling back. I'm thinking it's having a really tough time here. All right, for
Oh,
slow,
Carlos,
slow, slow
Andrew's
morning. Yeah.
Andrew's talking about your trade. So
Oh, nice, nice. Hopefully, good things.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, let's see here. I might take everything off here. We'll see. This looks very weak right now. Oh, right on YouTube. Oh, I didn't see it. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see if we can get back up there. I'm a little confused. RGC went from 950 to 600S at the start of the month, and now it's at 67. Let's take a look at what you're looking at.
Are,
RGC.
this
Oh,
is a
this is
stock
a
ticker?
spicy one. This is yeah.
Regenicel? What the heck?
Look at the 1 minute candle. Oh, it's halted right now, by the way. So careful.
Oh my God! Look at that, Carlos. Look
Yeah,
at there.
that
Halt. Open
this
for less than a
is
minute every time, and it halts all the way up. That's nuts.
careful. That is dangerous
Yeah.
stuff.
What are you gonna
Dangerous
do with that?
stuff. Mm.
Like, really?
Oh. Um. Oh, you saying it went from $9.50 to 67? Is that what you're saying? But yeah, it can do that. It can do that with all the halts that it has here. Just wild. So again, just be careful.
No, no, it's too early, Ivan, for Mountain Pass on Nvidia, and it didn't get enough volume when it hit that high of day. I'd be really worried trying to Mountain Pass this with that big order at 145. I play the 145 rejection, but it's unlikely to do a Mountain Pass. If it breaks the 145, and then all that volume dissipates, then maybe. But this is just too it's too violent, I guess, up there. It's too much orders. So we'll,
Mm-mm.
I hope I get a mountain pass this morning. It'd be nice to get a couple of those. But it looks like, based on what I'm seeing right now, we're at 1025. Um, I don't see anything imminently setting up. AMD is the best option with that slow, steady move up, right? If I can get like we just got a volume spike a minute ago at a high of day. If I can get a pullback and a retest, AMD is the best one right now for a mountain pass. But other than that, everything else looks like
Wow.
it's got some time. It needs quite a bit of time to set up here. So yeah, we're a ways away from that happening on everything I'm watching.
Nice move on AMD, man. That is beautiful. Look at this. Look at this 5 minutes. It's like a ladder. No
Yeah.
pullbacks, no red candles, just everything green, green, green. It's tough to get into a trade. Like I need a strategy where I can get into something like this. Like how do I know I can join the party and you can keep going another $2, right? Because I'm looking at it here. I'm like, oh
Yep.
yeah, this is done. This is only at 122, and now we're at 125.50 almost. So
Mhm.
it's like these are tough trades to
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
They're
There.
not easy. Yep. So man, look at that line. Almost looks fake. This is great.
Yeah. It does. It looks
It
like
looks
an
weird.
artificial, like when somebody makes
Yeah,
up a chart. It looks
yeah,
like,
like doesn't look natural at
sometimes
all.
that happens.
Friends over on YouTube, we have 933 great people watching us right now. We'd love to get to 400 is our goal. That's all we ask. 400, I think, is a good number. It's not greedy. It's not bad enough that we say we got to question our livelihood here on YouTube, but it's just right. It is just right
You've
because
done your
yeah,
you've done
we
your
got to be.
part, Carlos,
Yeah, we done our part. We did okay. We we
but
provided
you've
some
clicked
kind
the
of
button.
value. Oh, that's what
You
you're
click.
asking me. Shit. No, I did
Yeah,
not. I'll
yeah.
do it right now.
Huh? Jeez, come on, man.
I know, my bad. 292. I just hit it. And this is what happens. See, this is why I remind myself to remind you
It,
so that I can
it,
remind myself to hit the button. It's
there you
just a whole
go.
thing. It's a whole
But it's like
process.
an election, right? You got to be like, you got to vote for yourself. You go down
Yeah.
to the polling booth first and do the photo op, and
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
I cast my vote.
100%. 100%. 325. Thank you guys. Almost there. 75 more gets us to our goal. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. POTR sideways, our Nvidia sideways, but it hopefully the UX keeps moving higher, so it helps us stay below the radar here.
Hey Carlos, what's up?
Oh,
Hey, Andrew,
hey,
How
good
are you?
Andrew.
morning.
Good morning, good morning. Did you have a good day? I saw you killed it, huh?
Yes, Nvidia, one and done with Nvidia, so doing good. Still got a little bit left, see if it can get back to 145.
Yeah, if you can share
Um,
it into chat room as well.
yeah,
So I'm
we're doing it
here.
right now
And
too.
great trade on NVIDIA.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, volume should be
All
there.
right, guys. I had a pretty good day on PLTR. It was a great trading day. It was really nice, very big moves, very amazing. And yeah, it was a pretty good day. So very solid. No position here on the day trading. And
Mm-hmm.
day trading was $24,000 net profit. So that was pretty good.
Nice,
So
nice.
on that front, so had a small loss on NVIDIA, really nice win on PLTR, and we are seeing our account is growing slowly. So PLTR, the open, we did a 5-minute opening range breakup. Obviously, PLTR was trading at all-time high, even in the pre-market was going at all-time high. So when the stock are so strong that break all-time high, they're really good candidate for, opening range breakouts. So what happened was at the open did a very nice 1-minute opening range breakup, but I wanted to stay a little bit, because I just keep losing money in this first 5 minutes. So I didn't catch the 1-minute opening range breakup. But for 5 minutes, when it dropped here, I added as a long, added more, added more. I wanted to get to 145, but never really get to 145. But that was okay because that was my first entry. The second entry was big here, and I partialed out. I added two more times here with a smaller share size, brought my average to kind of 143.25 or something. And I was hoping to get to 145, and it didn't get to 145, and it stopped me out, which was okay. Um, and now I might go back up and see. AMD was a great trade and it's going up like a boss. And Lenny took that trade. Again, I had it on my watch list. I noticed that it's pretty strong in the pre-market, but I didn't take that trade. And as you see, it just keeps going up. Lenny did a really, really nice trading on that. The Oklo was a really nice opening range breakouts in the beginning as well, but sold off after. It was really great trading, honestly. And of course, the quantum computers are running up. QUBTs just keep running up. So there's a lot of opportunities today. Um, Okelo, somebody's asking why Okelo now? Because, for me, I don't have any trade book on Okelo. I mean, the 1-minute range breakout would have been nice, but I didn't take it. I was in other stuff. But then after this sell-off, kind of the pattern has broken. Like this one is a very, very, very big drop. So I don't really have any trade book trading it. NVIDIA was nice. Like I went long for NVIDIA, I got stopped out. I went long again, I got out, and then eventually did move, really nicely. And I know Carlos, you took it from here, so that was a very nice trade that Carlos did, and I think it's gonna go to 145. But when you don't have a trade book, if you don't have a strategy, you shouldn't really trade anything. You shouldn't really jump into trading. So therefore, for PLTR was it extended? No, it wasn't really extended. Like the first one, like first of all, look at the 5-minute candlestick. So the 5-minute candlestick was a very bullish candlestick that I wanted to, and this pullback was a chance for me to get in. We put the stop loss a little bit below the VWAP. So that was kind of like even half of this candlestick. So that was a recent risk that you do. Here obviously is the risk is significantly higher if you want to go at the high of the day. But that time, I kind of considered that this could be a reasonable risk for a potential really nice 3-1 or something like that. So it's all about statistics and analyzing these kind of things. Is that Thursday? Market is closed. Why?
Juneteenth.
What is Juneteenth? I've never heard of that.
Juneteenth is the abolition of slavery in the U.S.
Oh, it's a new one that it came. I think it's two years that
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah,
their third year. I think it's the third
third
year.
year
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh. Yeah, June 10th. Peter, how was your trading day? Did you take a trade? AMD is
No,
killing it. Tell me
I
you're in AMD.
know. I did not take AMD. I still don't have a trade. Just watching, waiting for my opportunity.
I'm surprised that you're not in this AMD. Wow, look at that.
No,
Beauty.
no. It never
Beauty,
gave a
beauty.
pullback. I mean, it just sort of took off and it
Yeah.
was very slow and steady. Just kept going.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I know. I agree with you. It's crazy that it just keeps going up like a boss.
Hmm.
Good
Strange.
for
And
AMD.
it's actually it moved last week too. So like I didn't think it had it in it to do it again.
Yeah, it's definitely some position taking on it, some serious position taking. Yeah. At a conference. Lenny had a really nice trade on AMD. Let me see if I can actually find the Lenny's trade. Lenny, share your trade. Ayman had a really nice trade on PLTR.
Yeah.
Uh,
Some good trades
oh,
in a row.
so new AI chips, huh? That's why it seems that NVIDIA doesn't have a momentum really to break out. Scott, what did you trade? Scott, our buddy Scott traded, yeah, SPY and AMD. SPY calls. Very nice. Yeah, 0DT from $1.50 to $3. Very nice, Scott. Thanks, Jesse. Yeah, that's all the trading community is all about, having different pullback. Nice. Yeah, so PLTR on Lenny. So yeah, so sorry, AMD. Very nice trade on AMD. This is a very standard 5 minute range breakout that the Lenny does. So that's pretty nice. Really, really nice. Wow, AMD is gonna go to 126. Oof. Careful, guys. Don't short it. This is pretty strong. Eventually, it's going to be a short. But
That's what I'm waiting for.
what are you looking for short, Peter? What's your criteria if you want to short this?
Well, I mean, for me, I would need to see a spike of volume at the high of day, which it sort of did earlier, but at what time was this here? See how I got that big volume spike at 10:24, something like that. Another one of those volume. Then I need a pullback and a retest of the high, and we haven't got there yet. So it's
It looks
still
like a
looking.
little bit toppy right now. It looks
It
like a little
does.
bit toppy now. Yeah.
So we'll see. It's getting a little more volume. So this is the type of signal I start to see. Right. This isn't perfect, but it's the type of signal. Typical mountain pass stuff.
Right. Yeah. All the breaking out news are coming about Iran is kind of giving up. So yeah, U.S. stocks rise and oil drops on a report that Iran is signaling it wants to restart talks on its nuclear program. So that's one thing. I mean, it was obvious that they get capitulated, Iran. Um, so they got capitulated. So they want to say, okay, sorry. And I think the news is out. So the reason, yeah, I think the war is going to stop very soon. I am Iranian. Yes, that's for sure. I am from Iran.
Here we go.
Mm,
Here
yes,
we
yes.
go. All right.
Yeah, today is one of those days, JJMA, that you might have missed the move, a lot of moves. Like it was very difficult. Even PLTR, if I was not entering there, it would have been very difficult to get in there. Sometimes it's like that, and you don't get a lot of pullbacks. It's like buying frenzy. Today was a buying frenzy. And again, financial market knows everything in advance, or at least price it in advance. You know how I actually saw the first attack of Israel? Like I have all the breaking news notification on my phone, but the how I saw was through financial market. Futures started dropping significantly. It took 5 minutes for Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal, CNN, everyone to start doing the breaking. Like the financial market knows everything in advance. So now like I'm getting, the Bloomberg and, Wall Street Journal, everything breaking news that Iran, is sending signal urgently that it wants to stop. But financial market knew already from half an hour that it just keeps going up. So the Wall Street is ahead of the game in all areas. So, this kind of rip means that people know, okay, this was just, very short-term war like they had a few months ago as well. So just let's rip. And in these kind of days, sometimes you don't get a pullback, at least not for a very good period of time. By the time that you get pullback, you might not even get the breakout again. So there are some days like that. So the most important part is, you stick to your risk management rule. So you do not want to, chase things or without any proper risk management rule.
All right, AMD still testing higher. I did try a short on it and got out real quick when it clear it wasn't ready to drop yet.
Yeah, I'm also tempted to short it, but a little bit tricky.
Not yet. Yeah, not quite yet. It seems.
RGC, Regencell shares off the highs now $70.
RGC, $70. Wow. What a crazy move. Regencell Biosciences.
Reverse stock, following the forward stock split. That's Romeo Golf Charlie.
What the hell is that? Wow.
So, well, actually, somebody on YouTube was talking
Gary
about
P,
that. They were looking at it.
Power,
Crazy move. Look at that.
getting
Open less than a
$1.15
minute.
at the highs now,
What? 6
voltage
times in a row.
99%.
And then halt. Crazy.
Yeah, most of the time has been halted.
Yep.
AMD short.
Charlie Romeo Echo Golf.
I don't know. It's a little bit tricky. AMD still. Benzinga Georgie is there's an icon in the chat room that you can click on that next to the Bearable Traders logo. It goes into the
Iran's Revolutionary Guards call on Tel Aviv residents to evacuate as soon as possible. That from Iran state media.
All right, 126. Look at that huge ask on 126 on AMD. Boom, popped up. 126.50 might be the one. Yeah, I don't know. Still a little bit too early for short. There is a short coming on AMD, but I don't want to be in there. QUBT went up. Oklo was SRM is going back up. HIMS was nice too. Actually, people called it HIMS in the chat room as well. HIMS was also a very nice 10-11% move. This is all-time high. No, not yet. HIMS is also super interesting. Yeah, now you hear Benzinga through my microphone because now Carlos is doing it. So yeah, I mean Benzinga is not super busy. Like they used to say more stuff, but now it's kind of nice. In the chat room, you don't hear it because the chat room doesn't, when I'm sharing, it doesn't get the background noise. But Carlos, when it getting it, he gets the background noise. Other than that, yeah, I don't think guys I'm gonna trade anything else. Like I'm tempted for an AMD short, but it looks like a little bit toppy. But I don't also need to trade. Again, very nice profits for me. I don't know if I want to take any other trade. Like I'm $24,000, so pretty good. Bitcoin is up. So getting a coffee. Peter, how was your Father's Day? Did you get gifts from your kids?
No gifts. I don't ask for any gifts. I have everything I need. But no, my daughter, my youngest, came over. She made dinner. It was good. I had my own dad over, so it was a good day. You know, nice and quiet. Went for a run in the morning. Great weather. Sat out on the patio in the back. Read a book. Can't ask for anything more. If only my pickleball club was open, I could have gone and played. It's closed for resurfacing. Should be open by Friday, though. So that's good. I'm still waiting for this trade on AMD as well. AMD is starting to get toppy finally, but you got to be careful, right? Shorting a strong stock, you got to pick your moments. So, like I said, I did try and take a short a minute ago after we got that spike at 10:35 that we were talking about. But I got it with this very, very small partial and then a break even. So now I'm waiting. I don't see the signals yet for what I need. So AMD still looks like it's got some room to potentially move higher. Certainly not seeing reversal signals yet. Other than that, pretty quiet for me. I mean, it's a lot of stuff is sort of mid-range. Like Tesla's not had a good day. Tesla's really just chopping in a range today. Nvidia still, I think this afternoon we got to watch that 145 level. Everybody, that's going to be interesting. And don't forget, like I mentioned, not a lot on the economic calendar, but at 1 o'clock, we do have that 20-year bond auction. Again, normally we don't talk about the bond auctions. I mean, the U.S. issues bonds all the time. But I think it was 2 weeks ago, whenever that last bond auction was, it really affected the markets because the bonds went for a lot higher interest rate than was anticipated. May the 21st. That's when the last bond auction was. So 3 weeks ago. And that was a 130 bond auction. And the market really reacted to that. If you guys were trading that day, I remember that. So keep an eye on the market. If you're in a trade or considering one at 1 p.m. today, that bond auction could have a big impact. Might not, but better safe than sorry, right? Just to be aware of it. Chip in the chat room is saying you're holding on to it. Okay, so fine. You know, if I'm happy to wait, Chip. If you think it's going to hit 127, then yeah, I'm happy for you to get your fill there, and then I can worry about a short. Sounds like a deal.
Lauren's
in there.
We have Fed's meeting this week, Peter.
A Fed meeting? I don't think so. With the Thursday holiday, I would doubt it. Let's see here. Oh no, there is the Wednesday. We are supposed to get an interest rate decision and then a speech by Powell. So yeah, Wednesday afternoon. Oh, that could be interesting. Fed is under continued pressure from the White House, of course. So let's take a look. Since you're mentioning it, let's take a look and see what the analysts are saying. Go to the FedWatch tool. FedWatch is saying right now 99.9% of analysts believe that there's going to be no change to the current rate. So pretty much everybody feels that the Fed is going to hold the course and not change the rate at all. So we'll see. One of the things we've learned from history, right, guys? It's dangerous when everybody agrees. That's when some of the biggest trading opportunities happen, because if the Fed does change the rate, everybody's going to be caught by surprise. But we'll see if this changes over the next 2 days, because sometimes as you get close to the number, people start to modify their position a little bit. But right now, yeah, 99.9% of analysts are estimating no change to the rate. That's interesting. Andrew, I know that like Father's Day is a made up holiday. It really doesn't mean anything, but it's like it's a North American thing, isn't it? Because I know like my son's in Europe or in Scotland, and they're like they do celebrate it, but it's on a different day, and it sort of has a different meaning. When you were a kid, there was no such thing as Father's Day, was there? Or
No,
even
we
Mother's
did.
Day for that matter?
No, we
Oh
did.
yeah,
We did. Like we
there
did.
was. Okay.
It was I don't know what's the occasion here that they do Father's Day, but it's one of the religious leaders. The birthday of one of the religious leaders in Iran was considered Father's Day because they believe he was a good father.
I
Um,
see. Okay.
so we did have, yeah,
Huh.
yeah.
All right.
Ali is one of the religious leaders in Islam, at least in Iran when they're Shia. His birthday was Father's Day. I don't know in the Sunnis countries. I don't know if they have it or not, but in Iran, um,
Hmm. Okay. There you go. I learned something new.
yeah. I mean, we also had Teachers' Day. I don't know if they have it in North America. I don't know if they heard it or not. Um,
Now that's something that should be celebrated. Teachers do.
and Mother's Day was Ali's wife, which was Prophet Muhammad's daughter. So
Okay.
yeah, so we celebrated that one.
Huh.
So I was born Muslim. I grew Muslims. I do have Bible though now. Yeah, I have a Bible right now here. Holy Bible.
Oh,
So
wow.
my cleaner, my maid, she's Catholic, and this Easter she brought me a Bible, and he said,
Oh.
Andrew, I see your life is so empty. At one time, she's cleaning and stuff. I saw you sitting over there alone by yourself. She gave me Bible. She said, hopefully the Lord would, help you and stuff. I swear to God. So I'm reading it.
Wow.
I'm New Testament, Paul 14 right
That's
now.
a lot tough reading.
So she told me my life is so empty. I'm alone, single, do
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
Wow.
In
That's
Easter.
harsh from your that's harsh a little bit.
I mean, she wants
Feels-
she wants good for me. So like sometimes I do feel my life is empty actually. I do feel like that. No, like I have money, okay, I have time, but I'm going through this purpose of life. Like, okay, what's my purpose? Because I don't have kids, like I don't have a family yet. So like I know, Peter, your life probably defines around taking care of your family, being a good dad, being a good husband.
yeah, true. Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's
No, I love
sort of the way.
religion. I think religion was very nice. I was, when I was a teenager and was in, early university age, the religion helped me, like giving you the direction in life and hope and helping you go through the hard times. I think religion has played a very important role in our civilization, like we reached the point. And of course, it was taken advantage, by most of the religions. Like, obviously, Catholic Church did some stuff. Muslim countries, the religious leaders, they take advantage of this, but has its values. Like I really respect all religions, but I am more toward Buddhism now. Like their teachings really make sense to me. All right, so AMD on 127. Should we short it, Peter?
Well, Chip's giving us the go ahead, so yeah, we're good to go. Now, again, I don't quite see it being ready yet. Looks, but we'll wait. The signals may happen any minute now.
All right, 127. 127.14. All right, I'm gonna 127.50 maybe, huh?
We'll see. Not seeing any selling pressure yet.
There's
127.50 does
none.
have a few shares.
Bastard is just buying pressure. I don't know. I don't want to. I want to be an example here, but I'm very tempted to short it. Maybe 127.50. There's
And
no
you
yeah,
had a good day. No need to force anything.
yeah. $127.50. It's gonna go.
So Jatin is saying that traders are circulating news that there's an unconfirmed large contract with I assume we say AWS, Amazon Web Services. I assume. Well, that could be a reason why it's moving. That makes sense.
Jesus, RGC. Look at the RGC guys. Stay away from it. This mess. Meta run up. Gary, did you take a nice trade on Meta? Nice. Yeah, you called the Meta for the break of 5 today. Remember that. Options, Gary? Nice. Yeah, very nice. All right, guys. So, pretty good day for me. I don't know if I want to take AMD short now. Maybe 128. I don't know. I mean, the daily chart also super strong, like breaking out. Be careful on these ones. Maybe there's some area around here. I don't know. This area. What is this area? Yeah, it's pretty hard to take a short on these ones. They're a slow grind up.
Yeah.
Careful on that. Don't want to stay short for sure. I know somebody lost really half of her accounts last week on PLTR because he just keeps trying to short it. So be careful. Don't try to stop a big train. All right, guys. Abby is having the options trading webinar today at 11. So if you want to know trading and options for all the elite members at 11 a.m. So what you could do is you can go see all the webinars here. At 11, Avi, Brandon is coming at 12 to talk about the DOS Trader Pro setup with basic for new traders. So these are all our webinars. So you can actually go and take a look at them.
And
We
you can
also
ask him about how his first Father's Day was.
Yeah, Brandon, congratulations. You are a father, first Father's Day. What does B Lackman says?
Wow. Bill Ackman is advocating. He woke up angry. All right. So we did get a little bit of a reversal here in AMD. A little bit. Pulling back. Keep an eye on it. Still, I haven't jumped in yet myself.
Yeah. Oh, AMD turned out to be a nice short. Good stuff. Good stuff. Very good stuff happening. TLTR. Yeah, I lost it.
Yeah, that was a good grab on PLTR, Andrew. You got that pullback nicely. Good move up this morning. Nice simple, momentum trading. I love it.
Yeah.
That's why you the man. Do you have any more adventures planned, Andrew? Nothing on the horizon?
Yeah. I'm going to New York City on the 1st of July for, actually I was invited to ring the NASDAQ bell.
Oh, cool.
That's July 3rd.
That's
Um,
awesome.
but after that, I'm in July, I might go to Peru for some climbing. I want to climb Alpamayo. Um,
Okay.
Alpamayo is considered the most beautiful mountain in the world. It's actually named the most beautiful mountain in the world. So it's a very technical, challenging mountain. So, and if Carlos shows me full screen, that's you can climb that. This is considers the most beautiful mountain in the world, and it's actually very technical ice climbing. So you have to, go through a very, very steep path here. So this is in Cordillera Blanca in Peru, and it's high elevation. It's like 18,000. Yeah, it's called the most beautiful mountain in the world. So you go camp on the base, and then technical ice climbing all the way up to the summit. So I'm not see it's like you have to use this things. So I'm not 100% sure if I want to do it yet, because I don't want to die. But
Is it a high risk climb?
yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely it's high risk. Yeah, for sure. It's probably harder than Everest. It's more technical. There's no fixed
Oh,
rope. You have to set up the anchors and protection. In Everest and a lot of big mountains, there is a fixed rope, so you connect yourself to the fixed rope. But this one is a little bit more tricky. So
okay.
it's pretty scary, and like see that like this, like you have to use the ice axe go all the way up to this path.
Hmm.
So this is the type of climbing on. So I consider that, yeah. So you fly to a Juarez, yes, Phil. Um, all right. So I know Thor is here. How are you, buddy? I know Thor is doing well, so I'm gonna stop my screen. I know Thor, when is the BBT meetup that you want to have in Florida?
Just trying to book the alligators,
Yeah.
crocodiles. What do we get me?
Yeah, I know. I mean, this one is a quick trip. I go to, I actually don't plan to have a meetup because it's very quick meeting. On July 3rd, I have to go to NASDAQ, and then after that, I need to fly back. But yeah, I know. All right, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go. And I know you're gonna come to YouTube. And thanks, Peter. Thanks, Carlos. Great trading. And I'm gonna go. I know
No
Gary
problem.
and Pat are coming for the chat room. Ciao, ciao.
Layout stuff here to help y'all out. Good to see everybody. Make sure our man Andrew made some money for you guys. He's including you in his journey, so make sure to support the channel, right? Thumbs up, all that stuff. I want to actually talk, great seeing you too, Yusam. I want to talk to y'all a little bit today about what we want to get out of this 11 to 12 hour. Since I'm going to be here and I'm going to be here regularly, I generically like to structure my time inside of Bear Bull Traders as more as kind of more segmented with, I generically like to have themes and concepts and things we're going to be talking about. So one of the things I'm going to talk about today in a little bit is there was a request on Friday to talk about ICT concepts, right? So, yep, I got you, Ben. So we're going to be looking to talk about ICT concepts. I also moved the chat down onto a small my phone that I have down here so that when I'm working on my screens and my monitors, I'll actually be able to, ooh, nice, but Bill. So you're gonna like today's session too. So what I'm gonna do today at 11:30, which by the way, let me make sure hold on one second. Let me make sure this is here. Yes. All right. Message through Telegram. All right, cool. So I'm gonna have my buddy Nathan on. I'm gonna have come on at 10 or at 11:30, and Nathan is going to talk to you a little bit about Bookmap. He's really knowledgeable in that. He's a Blue Jacket winner and all of those things. So for those of you who are interested in Bookmap, I want to have my buddy Nathan in. He's also a really solid pivot trader, someone I've worked with personally, and a buddy of mine. So he'll probably be someone I'll have on regularly, actually, if y'all like that idea. Let me know what you think of him when he's on. A little performance review. Let's see how he does. But if you guys like having him on, I'll have him on weekly, so that we can hang out, so that we can do a book map review, pretty often. ICT, it's smart money concepts is what I know. I know ICT. I can't remember the exact definition of the acronym. I'm so sorry off the top of my head. Dang it. But it's smart money is the concepts, right? Smart money concepts is basically what we're thinking here. So inner circle traders. I like that. So anyway, so as we're going through kind of our segment today, I want to talk a little bit about what we're looking at. Obviously we're going to talk about cam trading. We'll talk about the difference in varied concepts of trading, how you trade, how you manage positions. There's a lot of different stuff. I've been doing this for a little bit, so I can kind of guide you through most of the concepts that you're looking through to talk about. So like I said, every day, so schedule-wise, every day we'll try and come in and start working on, a concept of, maybe, like I said, we're going to talk about ICT concepts. So I figure the first maybe 10 to 15 minutes, we'll do an introduction. Yeah. The concepts are what I want to talk about. Usam, I personally, and for the record, I do not recommend using fair value concepts by themselves, right? I think like any pattern concept or any other price action concept, even volume and price analysis, right? Any of these different ideas that are just thrown out into the ether, none of them work by themselves, right? They need to be augmented with some other aspect, a higher time frame, like a monthly level. Camarilla pivots for me. Maybe for you, high of day, low of day, pre-market high, Avenacci levels for our dude Avi, right? There's got to be a place where you want to look for a price action so that you can gauge to see if you're seeing the price action you expect to see there. And if so, then you make a decision, right? So if you want to use fair value gaps and inverse fair value gaps and things like this, right, they will have their place, right? If you want to use breakout patterns, high of day break, Pearson fail. If you want to use Camarilla, S3 buys, R4 rejections, all these things have their places, right? But we want to take that pattern or that fair value concept and apply it within that specific range, right? So we'll talk a little bit about that here shortly. I'm having, for the record, by the way, just in case y'all were concerned with what I was up to today, I'm having a very not enjoyable trading day so far. My first trade was a trade on Apple. And let me show that to you real quick because I think it's important for you to see. Like I had an amazing week last week, by the way, probably my best trading week I've ever had. So of course, this week's going to start off with being a complete pain in the butt. I have no futures trades today because none of the futures ticker. Gold was in a nice spot at the open, but then it just kind of went out, and I really didn't enjoy it. So normally I'll start off my sessions with I'll do a little trade review to show you where I'm at and what I'm in, right? And then what I'll do is I'll talk about whatever our concept of the day is that we wanted to talk about. So normally when I close out the day, I'll ask everyone to kind of help me come up with a concept for tomorrow that we want to talk about. Right. And then around 11:30, if I have a special guest, which I'm going to try and load up having, maybe Nathan, maybe, psychologists like Dr. V, maybe, Carlos, our man Carlos, get him back on the horn for a little bit in the afternoon and talk with you guys so we can actually talk more about his trading and not just doing the pre-market stuff with you guys. I think that'd be a lot of fun. And just try and kind of regularly have some people coming on here. I'm also working on some guests to come on that I'm hopefully going to really bring you some value to this 11 to 12 hours. So, not just about trading, although we will be trading, you know what I mean? So, but also talking about just all the stock stuff, right? We're here. Let's do this, right? So cool. So if that sounds good, just, the more we can do this, the more we can grow this channel, the more pull we get, right? The more I can get access, I come up to people and I say, hey, I got like 10K on my X, want to come on my show. They're like, oh, well, how many people are on your show? And I'm like, hey, I got like a grand of people, and we, how many, like, and all this stuff. But if we're active and we're growing, I'm going to be able to get some real people on. Like we're talking to some like pretty up there people, right? Like no guarantees, but we're going to try and get like Anna Cooling on. We're sending some messages out to try and really get some fun people to bring onto this show so that y'all really, get some fun stuff, but I'm going to work on maybe even trying to get some, I threw out an email to MB Kurtzentwig, who's the designer of the Camarilla pivot equation that I use. So I'm reaching out because I want to bring content to this segment and maybe try and like grow it with having some like really unique people on. I'm also going to I've reached out to a couple of buddies that I know off of the market as well. Like a friend of mine who he's currently at Velocity Brokers now, but he used to be a market maker as well as used to be a sales specialist for the NYSE as well as a market maker on the NYSE. So I'm going to try and have him on. And he can talk about velocity brokerage. He can talk about short locates. Like, this guy knows everything, right? So I'm going to try and see if I can talk to some cool people and, give me a couple weeks. I got to sort stuff out and get people on Sketch, and I'll keep you posted. If I have someone that I know that's coming on, I'll let you know so we can kind of be excited about it. In, that's a good question. Maybe Sam, he might be interesting to have on. I'm down with having anybody on that would want to come on. I just want to make sure that the people on that we have on are like really going to bring a lot of like direct knowledge to the process of, but like anybody like that would be fun. I'll be reaching out like kind of spring, especially as we grow. We probably wouldn't get, some of these people, we probably wouldn't get their attention. Too small potatoes. All right. So Apple, I loser. Right. So my first trade on Apple started off really nice. Right. My first trade on started off really nice. I went short here. It dropped and it squeezed. And when it squeezed and came up, I went ahead and went out at break even because I did not have the RVR I wanted. I wanted to be much closer to R3. This position just felt a little late. So I went out and I actually took a small amount of slippage on that exit. Oh, well. We then came down, we pulled back, we did this lovely little squeeze here, came back and held, and I loved it. I went short there right after I pulled the trigger, instant drop. It felt so good. And then it came up and stopped me out. I was like, oh my goodness, right? So not working. So then I'm down an R, maybe a little bit more than an R right now on here. And then I got a call alert on Google, and I flipped over into Google and tried one trade on Google. Here, short as it called. Again, really nice entry and drop. Squeezed down to here and came up and took me out. This one, I went ahead and got back in, and I ran my stop above R3. And now I'm just kind of locked in on this one, and this is going to be my last trade of the day. So I'm only going to be willing to give up about 3R today. But I really like this trade again, so I'm going to leave it on. But as you can see, it's pulled back against me a few different times. So one of the things that can get really, really difficult about being a range trader is when it's not a range day. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have trend days. Sometimes we have range days. Sometimes we have chop days, right? So in this instance, I'm a range trader, and I'm really more of what you would categorize as a day trader, right? So there is a little bit of a bit of a blend in the vernacular between what is considered to be a day trader by definition and what is considered to be a scalper by definition, right? Now, obviously, we all trade during the day. This is true, but day traders have a significantly different expectation for what type of positioning we do, right? Day traders are, you know, a lot of people would think of a day trader as being more of like an intraday swing trader, right? Someone who's going to trade from the highs to the lows, but that's technically what a day trader is. If you're looking to get a position on and get it off within just a couple of minutes, and you're really looking to sell the high and then cover by the time you make a short movement to the downside, that's a scalp. You know what I mean? So scalping doesn't have anything to do with position size. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. The vast majority of momentum traders are scalpers, right? And it's really important to be aware of that, right? Because if you're aware of that, it really helps you manage your positions a lot better, right? Like if you're a momentum trader and the trade is going in your direction, if it starts to come against you, you should be out of that position, right? Because you're a momentum trader, you're a scalper, right? You're taking advantage of a quick directional movement, right? But I'm a range trader, right? So I'm not really wrong unless I'm stopped out. And that's a really annoying habit to get it used to, right? Especially if you're kind of switching from being a momentum. So like today, even though I can't go to break even on this trade, I can't stop out of this trade, right? Because I'm just in the range and I'm not wrong unless it goes above R3, right? So if it goes above R3 and it stops me out, then I'm wrong and I just have to finish. But my goal here is going to be to run across the ATR distance to the downside. And if I have the high price here, I'm going to be targeting the low. What this allows me to do is this allows me to risk a significantly smaller amount of money running a wider stop and then taking advantage of the swing in price movement from high to low in the day. But it is a significantly different way to trade. And especially if you're used to momentum trading, my goodness, is it freaking uncomfortable, right? So it is really takes a lot to get used to sitting here and having to squat in a position that right now looks like it's going to take me out, right? But it doesn't really matter if it goes up because every time it goes up, it sells from right here, right? So as long as it doesn't buy through 176 and some change, I'm good, right? So I got to just be okay with that. But if it goes out and breaks out, I'm wrong. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm done for the day and I'm down 3R today, right? Of course, Usam, I appreciate that, buddy. You know, I'm down 3R today. And being down 3R, it sounds bad, right? But the good news, I made like, you know, I think I averaged like 6 or 9R or something a day last week, right? So going down 3R today, it's just really not that big of a deal. What's a big deal is if I start doing weird things, right? Second guessing, cutting positions, trimming positions, adding, partialing, all of these other things I never intended to do before I sat down in my desk right now, right? If this doesn't work and I lose 3 trades today, I'm going to sit down after the markets close today. I'm going to pull up the chart. I'm going to pull up Bookmap. I'm going to look at the order books and I'm going to go, man, what did I miss today that had me so willing to get short on this position, right? But, you know, and then I ended up being wrong. You know, sometimes what I'll recognize is the order book was too bullish, right? It just did not, even though we were in a selling range and we were finding sellers, the market, you know, the algorithm in the market just didn't look like we were going to sell. You know what I'm saying? So, but just because I'm wrong today doesn't mean I wasn't right yesterday or the day before or the day before or for the year before or for 2 years before, right? A losing day is not a defining day for me, right? A losing day for me is just a day, right? We're going to have them, right? As a stock trade. Oh, I'll get into some questions here in a second too, which we'll have. And then like I said, my buddy will be on at 11:30 today. My buddy Nathan, and we'll talk some Bookmap. So we'll get into ITC here in 3 minutes. So, or ICT, sorry. I think I just said it backwards. So part of this whole like process is really just about being in control of the only thing you can be in control of, which is you, right? So just kind of keep that in mind. You know what I mean? As you're going through this whole process, like you are not defined by losing days. Those days can be the exception, right? So even when if this pops up, because right now, look at this price action, man. Gosh, it looks like it's going to come get me. Like, it's okay. You know what I mean? We can have a red day today. We can come back tomorrow and we can still, you know, learn about stuff. So while we wait for this to stop me out in the background, let's talk about smart money concepts. All right. So there was a question about, and I'm going to tie that in, which was there was a question about how to, I actually kind of want this just to stop me out so I can concentrate a little bit better. It's like torture. So let's talk a little bit about how the account or the market structure actually works in the market itself, right? So what a lot of people don't realize is that market makers are traders, just like you and just like me. They kind of, you know, it's kind of like a Wizard of Oz kind of scenario, right? Where people think that because they're market makers, that there's some grand, wise thing. I mean, now most of them have been trading for a long time, don't get me wrong, right? But it's still just not a thing like that, right? Market makers are, in fact, we just had an alert on Apple. Market makers themselves, right, are just traders, right? Just really, really big ones. Now, let me kind of talk about how that works, right? So at the very bottom of the ladder of trading, right? Let's say on the grand scheme of the very bottom of the ladder of trading, down here is what you call your mom and pop, right? Mom and pop is 401ks, right? It's the person who sits down once every quarter, right, and fills out the little paperwork and check boxes. This is old school. Sorry, check boxes in their 401k who they, you know, what companies they want to be vested into, not vested into, right? And then it goes to some kind of an institutional person who actually performs all of those trades for them and buys them within said range, right? So like when you sign up for that, you don't really get a price, right? You just say, I want to buy this, and then they buy it for you at some point, right? So that's your mom and pops, right? After your mom and pops, right, you get into your retail, right? So retail falls into a lot of categories, right? We have what's called you know, swing trading. We have scalping, right? We have pro tail, right? Which is what we consider most of us to trying to be, right? Professional retail traders, right? That's pro tail, right? We have non-professional retailers, right? People who are trading smaller accounts, right? That aren't really like full on making money doing it, right? So that's, you know, that's retail, but we call this new category pro tail, right? Which is this kind of intermediary area where we have that, right? So on top of retail, right? So you get scalping, pro tail, and then inside of retail, this is where our ICT is going to come from, right? Or our smart money, and we'll come back to them real quick in a minute, right? So on top of retail, above here, we get into our prop, right? Proper proprietary, right, are people that are trading with somebody else's money. Now, not to be confused with funded, right? Funded trading isn't actual technical trading, right? We're trading in a funded account that's, you know, it's really kind of more like online poker out of Google. It's more like online poker than it really is anything else. You know what I mean? So it's an own separate pool on its own separate, you know, funding on its own separate thing. You're not actually like, if you make money, for instance, trading a Bear Bull Traders funded trading account, you lose money trading one, guess who doesn't go do wash sale, right? You don't have to go do wash sale rules, right? Hey, yeah, Robbie, exactly. They have lots of stuff on us, you know. So you know, because why? Because it's just money, right? It's contract money, right? So we don't really worry about that and that. So proprietary is not that case, right? In proprietary, you're trading with somebody else's money, right? And you're trading for a profit split off of that money. So above proprietary is what we call institutional, right? Institutional traders are the traders who are negotiating the mom and pop deals, The institutional traders are also the traders who are trading very large for large corporate conglomerates and big corporate groups that are coming together and stuff like that, right? Big moves out there, large banks, large funds also making the trades for like CEO, like real big in the know. A lot of your insider stuff is coming from inside of here. And then on top of them, at the top of the pyramid, is this different type of trader, right? And that trader is called, see if I can actually, this trader is called the specialist. Man, we're so going to go up and just take me out and then just do that. So rude. So this trader is called, in fact, the specialist, right? The specialist is the look at this beautiful selling apple right from the called location. The specialist, right, is who we designate as market makers, right? Market makers actually aren't a job, right? Technically, that's just what we call them. They're actually called a specialist, right? The specialist is a trader just like you and me, but they have a desk on the floor, and it is their job to facilitate share volume for other traders, right? So if an institutional trader wants to buy a whole lot of shares, it's the market maker's job or the specialist's job to go find them those shares, right? If a proprietary, if a retail person, if a mom and pop, if anybody needs anything, it is their job, right, to go get it for them, right? So now that we kind of understand this hierarchy, right? Everyone with me on YouTube, did everyone fall asleep on me? Do you get what I'm saying there now that you kind of understand the structure of the market and kind of like who we're playing with at all times? Because I want to make sure we understand that before we go into ICT, right? All right, cool. So stay with me here, okay? So now that we know this, right, the person we are hunting is here. ICT, we call them smart money, right? Smart money is a really nice word, right? It's a really nice word. There's nothing smart about smart money, right? But what ICT is basically really large retail traders, right? Pro-tail traders, traders that are very large bank accounts. They're doing the same thing you and I are doing, right? But they're doing it with significantly larger accounts. And their accounts are so large, in fact, that they have the ability to, at times, take advantage to lean liquidity areas in the book, right? So let's say you are starting to bottom at S3, all right? Or let's say you're starting to bottom out. As you're starting to bottom, you go like this, you come up, it dips down, it comes up, and then there's this very large engulfing bar, right, that comes as we explode and we break that, a very large initiation of price action, right? This initiation, right, is created by an algorithm or a large pro-tail trader of some sort that is looking to take advantage of this double bottom, right? It's the same thing you're thinking, right? The same thing, but when they come in, right, they're going to come in. Exactly, Ravi. So this is all Wyckoff theory stuff, Ravi. Livermore, Wyckoff, everybody read them, learn them, love them, right? Everything that they say, right? Yeah, I know, like this beautiful short right back here to VWAP at R4, right, for the short. Gosh, let's go. Come on. I reshorted Google when it came up and whipped me out like that. I knew that was going to happen. Gosh darn it. I had a feeling that was going to happen. So it came down here and it went and it took me out and it did this beautiful inverted hammer here and then cracked that low and pulled back. So I reshorted and threw my stop above that high. Like I just really had a feeling that like this is to be a range trader, right? I'm just hitting the top of this range and anytime it's failing to go out. So, and we'll see. I only need, if I hit my 4R target on this one, it'll put me up like an R or so on the day. And then I'll be good to go. So that'll be really nice. Okay, so while we let that marinate. So so what happens here is, because generically when you're looking at the book, there's a low level of liquidity, right? Someone ends up buying this area and it breaks it up, and then it makes it pop through, right? So hold on, let me refresh this because my chat is lagging. Let me fix it. There we go. All right, cool. I wanted to get that fixed to make sure because it was really lagging. When this oh, now I have audio. Hold on. Nobody needs to hear me twice. So when we start to come in and we hit this bottomed area, right? We get this large buy that comes in, right? This large buy is an intentional move by somebody, an initiative. So you got to understand the difference here between initiative and responsive participants, right? We have these large initiations or these big moves, all right, are these moments where our large players, our pro tail, are coming in to try and take advantage of what are obvious areas of liquidity and supply, right? There's a big buyer here, right? So if the price comes down and sits on top of this buyer, a smart money player is going to come out and buy a whole lot of shares, right? Because the market makers are now going to get imbalanced with additional buying while they're already trying to distribute into a buyer below. This is going to squeeze the market maker, right? So this is what creates our fair value scenario, right? The algorithm, if it's taken advantage of in this capacity, is going to attempt to balance the value, right? So you get this big movement, right? And this big movement, and my buddy Nathan's getting queued up here. So get ready, about 5 minutes, and I'm gonna, he can come ahead and come on whenever Carlos is ready, but about 5 minutes here, and I want to finish my my little fair value here, and then we'll talk about Nathan and book, and you'll be able to see some of that. So that will create a large movement or a large engulfing candle, right? When you see that large engulfing candle here and that happens, right? Man, that looks really sophisticated. When this creates this engulfing candle, the algorithm is actually going to recognize this as being premium, discount, and value. And this will create a retracement area to the middle, and we call this the CE, or what is better known as the consequence encroachment line, right? The algorithm, as it watches the CE, will watch for buying or selling response at that area. So you will get a pullback to the consequence encroachment, and the algorithm is going to watch how much buying, how much selling we have, what the order book looks like. And if we don't have a lot of bid to the downside, and as we come back, retail and other buyers start buying here, we will come back, re-offer premium. If we buy premium, we will go into a breakout. Does anybody out there in retail know what pattern that looks like? Hit me up here. All of my opening range traders, work with me here. I wonder how long the lag is on here at times. Maybe it's ABCD, right? This is ABCD pattern, right? Boom, right? So when you're playing an ABCD pattern, understand what's happening, right? At the open, you have you have algorithms that are hitting the open right at the beginning, right? Anybody, do you all understand what MOO orders are and what MOC orders are? Everyone here, raise a hand if you do not know what an MOO order or an MOC order is. I know you can't raise your hands. Just, you can either like or you can chat and say, I don't know. Does anyone not know what an MOO order or an MOC order? Okay. MOO orders are market on open. MOC are market on close, right? So you can come in the morning, and if you think the market is going to be strong, you can put on an MOO order. And basically, as soon as the market opens, you will immediately get put into a position, right? Smart money, if they think the market is going to be strong, will come in and they will open with MOO orders. This is what your opening range consists of, right? This big, massive engulf of surge of volume coming into the market are MOO orders triggering at the open. This creates a fair value gap, right? Your opening range breakout is nothing more than a fair value gap. An ABCD pattern is nothing more than a fair value gap. Hey, buddy, I can hear you. What's up, Nathan? Yeah, it's okay, dude. Good to have you, man. I'll have you on in just a second. Good to have you with us, man. I'll properly introduce you here momentarily. So all of this stuff, fair value gaps, all of this ABCD stuff, it's all the same concept, right? So now so this is why it's very, very important. And I always recommend Anna Cooling as a good resource. It's very important to pay attention to the volume at the open, right? If we have a pullback to the value area or the CE, that volume should drop as reoffer, and we should find buying down here. If we do, as we come back up, that's what your long is going to be based upon, right? So this is, Dalton, a part of the regular daily broadcast. So at the end of the day, when Carlos kills this stream, you can just rewatch this whole stream every single day. I believe they are all kept as far as I'm aware. So we're going to break up. Now, a bearish fair value gap is literally the same thing, right? It just happens the other direction, right? You get a big hard sell, and then we're going to offer value, and then we sell. How we reoffer these value areas is very, very important. Now, when we start talking about inverse fair value gaps and these other concepts, what we're talking about is when we reoffer, right? So once again, we're going to have an area of premium, value, and discount. Wow. Drawing skills, not on par. Discount, right? When we come back to offer, right, we will come back up and we will fail and then reoffer, right? So we actually fail this fair value, right? And that's where we get these failures. You could get these really big plays. Now, why this one here? Because it's going to be the consequence encroachment or the mid-level of that failure. So your short's going to be looking here for your inverse fair value gap, which will be the playback on this failure here. So this is what creates all double tops, right? That's what creates all double tops of this capacity, right? Head and shoulders are the same thing, just a little bit different, right? You actually have your area of value get set on the midline, your area of premium and discount, failure of discount falls that direction, right? All right, so a couple questions unrelated to that, then let's bring my buddy Nathan on. We'll talk a little bit of book. I am still holding Google short. Target is 175 right now. So fingers crossed, maybe this actually works. Anna Cooling, Complete Guide to Volume and Price Analysis is my jam. That's the one I highly recommend. I will say anything she recommends or puts out there, including her channel and other things, is probably just gold. You know, I mean, it's probably just a gold mine. I mean, she's brilliant, right? So, so cool. All right. So exactly what is SPY doing right now? You went short. Let's go ahead and have my buddy Nathan. If you want to unmute, you can come all in and we'll start talking about.
Hey, what's going on?
Waved and turned a direction. I was going to turn the direction your tile was on in YouTube, and I picked the right one. Did I get muted? Someone said I got muted. Sorry, only one person's allowed to talk at a time in here. Sorry, people. Okay, cool. No, all right, cool. I'm in. All right, awesome. Thank you. So hi, Nathan. This is my buddy Nathan. So Nathan is the dean to my Sam when I'm out there stock trading. So for those of you who are nerdy enough to know, the show Supernatural,
Best show ever.
best show ever. Good buddy of mine. I've been trading with Nathan for years. He's an absolute fantastic guy. He's one of the best to do it as far as I'm concerned at Bookmap and reading the order book. One of the things that he's a blue jacket winner for Bookmap, and he regularly presents there and has classes there, as well as he regularly does Bookmap presentations weekly in Bear Bull Traders as well. So one of the really big benefits to being in to Bearable Traders and being behind the paywall is being able to regularly work with, you know, really killer people like my dude Nathan here. So so I'm gonna, but like I said to you guys, I want to have on regular people, and my buddy Nathan here, hopefully somebody I can have on weekly and regularly. So everybody say hi. Make sure you throw thumbs up and likes for Nathan's, all the good stuff. And Nathan, good to have you, brother. Nice to have you on with us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Your first guest. I feel like I'm on Letterman
Oh, nice. Yeah, I guess
to
you are my first
age
guest. Oh,
myself.
wow.
Yeah.
This is incredible, actually. Call it history in the making.
And for all of you BBTers that are here, Thor will be joining me with my webinar tomorrow. So get some
Yeah.
double doses.
As if you haven't heard enough of the duo here. So, oh yeah, we got some good hellos in here. Carry on, my wayward son. Absolutely. So we're talking about SPY and what's going on with the SPY right now. Long story short, I could give you a really complicated reason, but the reality is we hit ATR high, right? So if you look at SPY right here, if you're looking at my screen, you'll notice, look at this inverted hammer here, right here at the top. This level 604.38, that is our ATR high. That is the level that we calculated this morning, and we're projecting for basically as high as we expected the SPY to go. The methodology that is used for calculating ATR is very simple. You do a 14-day look back, session high to session low, and then you project it off of whatever the low of the current session is, whether that's pre-market low or low of day, pre-market high or high of day, project it across the range, and boom, you have it. So if you're looking for, if you have trading view and you're looking for an easy way to do it, we actually have a calculated method that automatically does that for you. You just look for adaptive ATR limits by BruzzX. And you know, he's a BBT member, and we have those coded out for you free right in the terminal, or right there for you. So, but that's what's going on right now. So you guys go, what's going on in the market? Why did we turn around? Why did we start selling? We turned around because this is where we should have turned around, right? That we are at ATR high. We really should not go much higher than this unless we're going to have a significant deviation. And, you know, it's a wider kind of ranged day. So there's no real reason to think we're going to do that. So did you see anything on the order book, Nathan, that kind of made it look like we were going to turn around there?
I remember we were talking about, because I've been using Spot Gamma quite a bit, about
Right.
that hitting. I mean, it hit the SPX hit about that just under 650, 6051. And that's when I said that's when we could see a fade, and it moved back down to that's what 630 level, 660-40 level on SPX. So, you know,
Perfect.
it did. It hit it, and now it's kind of fading off just because there weren't as much option activity above, but we're building a little bit now to the top, but it faded right off of it.
That's what, are y'all out there at YouTube Landia? Are y'all familiar with Spot Gamma? Have y'all used that program at all? Because I could definitely have our guy talk a little bit more about that
Yeah,
program.
absolutely.
I think that's a really interesting one. When I was in Vancouver, Vancouver most recently, I watched a very interesting presentation on Spot Gamma by them, and I know Nathan spent some pretty good time with them checking that out. So I'm sure we have some kind of an affiliation in there. We'll work on getting like some discounts and stuff like that if we don't have them already, and we'll share them in here for you if we get a chance. But yeah, Nathan, why don't you can you run everyone a little bit through on the like the basics of what Spot Gamma is?
Spot Gamma, it's a proprietary, algorithms that they use, and they have their own charts.
Do we
Yeah,
have your screen available? I
let me see.
wonder. I don't know if your screen sharing. It would be nice. Let's see if we can gonna make Carlos work today.
I know I've
Ha!
got this trade going on QQQ too.
Oh, nice.
So I went short.
So,
Somebody said they went short the SPY, but we were deviating quite a bit with YM, NQ, and ES, and I really liked where QQQ was, but just more of a fade, probably just scalp
mhm.
fade rather than a cam play. So couldn't really find anything else today. So
Yeah, I mean,
just
I didn't trade futures at all today because nothing was in the right
yeah,
spot for me. So I
yeah.
just
This just
decided
happened.
for me, those are the kind of the days where I can really hemorrhage a lot of money just trying to make something fit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, these are the days where you dwindle your account. It's the Andrew talks about all the time. It's hard to keep the money you're making. Like that's one of the hardest parts of trading. This is one of those days where you lose that money you're trying to make by forcing trades and just wanting a trade and feeling that pressure rather than just sitting out and don't find a trade, don't find a trade, go do something else. That's why, we're building this alert system, especially if you guys are interested in getting the pivot bot up and running again and having an alert system. It makes your life a whole lot easier because you're not sitting here watching trading, watching price action, and then just getting mentally drained. And by the time there is a trade, you're just so smoked that you can't do anything. Let those alerts play in and keep your mental fortitude going.
Oh, absolutely. So now, and when he's saying the pivot system, so he's talking about for any of you who are using the like trading view cam system or any of that stuff, you can go ahead and actually have pivot bot running basically now. All you have to do is set up an alert running off the Camaria pivot plays that are in here. So like today, for instance, we just had an Apple call that just went out like a few minutes ago. And you'll kind of see if I can manage to get over to it. Hold on. Sorry. I mean, look at this beautiful. We had a nice little consolidation here, pull back. We had a R3 sitting right here underneath VWAP. So it came under even a little later in the day. We came under here and pulled back and had a nice little short off of it. So there's definitely some stuff we can do there. So that's pretty cool. But I really like the concept of spot gamma, especially in looking at, these areas of a high open interest and things like that. I've even noticed running them across futures and stuff like that, man. Like it's just like really cool.
Yeah, and it's how I'm looking at it, coming from you and you being my mentor, I'm looking at it as, confluence into the cams and you get these big option levels where these hedging activity has to happen. And then now I can kind of put that in with playing the cams, put it in with the cam levels, and also get a better idea of, what is happening with the hedging market and how are we looking to trend. So that's kind of just how I use their tools just to add to the cam system, just to add some more confluence and get an idea of, are we in an area where we're continue to buy or continue to sell just based on that hedging pressure?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, that's really cool.
And
So, hey,
if Carlos wants to switch to my screen, I've got this trace map up and I'll go back and show everybody kind of what we were talking about and looking at.
yeah, there you go. I think you're up now.
So this is trace. So what we have here is the gamma exposure that institutions and dealers are exposed to right now, kind of how they're positioned in the options market right here in this looks purple to me, but Brett says it's blue.
Dude,
And
that is purple.
we'll go with blue. Thank you, Thor. I'll
That
tell
is
Brett.
purple.
Tell Brent that you said that it
No,
is
Brent's partially colorblind is the problem. Not everyone can see all the spectrum of the colors. A
Mhm.
lot of people don't know that. Like a lot of people assume like they can see the same thing everybody is. It's not true. Some people can see significantly larger depths of color. Like I'm very sensitive to color variation. So like for instance, like when I see most people when they call it black, it's not black. It's like really, really dark blue. And I
Mhm.
can see that it's really, really dark blue, like charcoal, right? Like not black. And they say, oh, no, that's black. It's not black, right? That, by the way, there's no part of that that's blue for the record. So, I mean, I'm probably never going to get talked to by Brent ever again now or asked ever back because of this. Not very good at sucking up. But that is stinking purple.
It is
That's very
purple.
purple.
It's purple to me too. But
Anyway, all right, sorry.
no, we're good.
ADHD triggered on the blue versus purple here. I had to interject.
But as you see, these are heavy air. This is an area kind of where we're in a positive gamma environment. So we would expect like a lot of chop, but a lot of buying pressure too into this area. We can kind of see across here, across this heat map, how we have that kind of buying pressure through here. And as we squeeze through and get to these big option areas that we kind of expected to interact with them and buy up through them. And then just like we talk about on the order book, what I noticed this morning, so we'll go back this morning. This is a nice feature they have that you can just go back even during the day and check the levels and see how the map has changed. And kind of as Thor and I were opening the day and talking about this, we squeezed through this negative Gex area. So this is an area we would expect some selling to kind of hit this bar, maybe bounce off and sell and kind of get stuck in this small area for a little bit and some morning chop. But we blew right through here. So we go straight. We went straight to our large Gex right here, our large Gex area. And as we were coming in there, we kept buying, kept seeing a lot of green here on Bookmap through here. So we're buying, we're buying. The options activity shows that our hedging is going to continue to kind of push and trend us to the high side. And as we go on, we were kind of looking, where could this go? Where could we look for a fade or a trade? And I was telling Thor, well, we're pretty heavy on our GAX, on our positive buying all the way up to about 60-50 for the SPX. So what you're seeing here is the bars for the SPX. Which is all of the S&P, all the options, ES options, SPY options, SPX options, all of those go into the SPX. And we came right up to that 60-50 level. And then that's the area now that we're just fading off of and starting to build to the top side here. So we're getting a lot of interest in buying up here. But this void right here is kind of what I was looking at. So something else when you're looking at Bookmap here and where can price go? You start to see some voids in some areas of prices. We have a nice, decent ladder up to 6110, but filling in a little bit better down here, and we have a void. So, what would be the indication that we're going to go up here? We need this to fill in first to know that, these are going to be in play. These levels are going to be in play. And a similar thing here with Trace. Nothing here. So
And
there
I
was no
think that's
interest to
like
go
really
higher.
like the important part to keep in mind, right? Is directionality is so important, right? So much easier to do your risk management if you pick the right direction. And what, Nathan's, kind of illustrating there, that there's a lot of buying pressure, but also not a lot of top side to the book. So we have buying without indication that we're going to buy. You know what I mean? So these are the kind of things where we start looking for maybe the market maker to be offloading premium and, and other kinds of information. So, but it creates very inopportune locations to take trades, very choppy, right? So understanding these kind of things will really help you out. Like, you're thinking or looking for a short. Well, what if the market's just not a short?
Yeah.
And these are the kind of tools and these kind of concepts. Like right now, we haven't started really selling yet. Like we've had some sells, like the market, like maybe around like NQ, for instance, around like 1126 had a very nice sell there. I'd say we've probably set our top side value, and we're probably going to head back for VWAP in a little while.
Yeah,
On
that's what I was
NQ.
thinking on my fade that I was taking on the Qs.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of getting in
I
that
think we
area.
could get a nice movement to the downside. I wouldn't be completely against trying to rock some contracts back towards VWAP here shortly, especially since we're all over the 50 and starting to kind of like as so everyone so I really like I call it the poor man's trend line because I've always been kind of horrible at drawing trend lines, full disclosure. But you can kind of see here, I use the 50 SMA. I've just always been very happy with how this level tends to perform. So what you can see here is, from the open, we exploded and just never even came back. So, but now we find ourselves crossing the 50 and VWAP all the way back at pre-market high. This is a wide day. So the expectation is actually to close back inside the range. So we could get a really lovely failure from here all the way back inside of R6, get back down towards VWAP, and that could be a really fun play. So I'm not against the idea of rocking and rolling a couple of contracts back in that direction. Speaking of, I completely forgot about my Google trade. Oh, not bad. Still alive.
Yeah, I missed that one. But no, that was a great setup. I mean, this kind of price action right around that R3 level. So the R3,
They got me twice, man.
yeah,
It's a hard one today.
yeah, this is good. This is definitely these are some great rejections too, right off that level into that area. So it's looking good to me at least.
Yeah, I think this will green my day out if I can hit this trade. So, and then maybe we'll get short some contracts and some futures or something and have some fun. So we're in the right spot. I don't want to put any more on really, like let this thing hit because would be nice. I really like where we're at on the market. We're starting to roll over now. I think this is going to work out pretty good because
Yeah,
you
we
can
can
see,
get
look,
back under this.
we're starting to lose the 50 now, and we're
Yeah,
starting to
this
move
is
back lower.
SPX gets back under the 60-40 level. Like that could be a nice little just move down for us, kind of a little revision. Like I'm getting close to my first target right here for the
Nice.
yeah, this is about all I was able to find today.
Malik, nice. Nice. I think that's a good plan. I mean, it's very unlikely we go significantly higher than this on the ES today. So especially since we've run out our ATR on SPY, it's just, you know, it's more likely we, you know, we revert to value. And VWAP, by the way, very handy. You know, VWAP very handy, right? So VWAP is our average our average price weighted by volume. I don't like calling it VWAP. I just don't think what I like calling it makes a very good acronym. But because volume weighted average price is true, but I like thinking of it as the average price weighted by volume. You got to think at this point, the average cost right now today is somewhere down here near pre-market high. So you got to think it's not going to take a whole lot for profit taking to kick in. We're fairly well extended from VWAP and we're rolling our 50. So this is a really nice spot for a short to set up. I'm using the cams that I'm using are this set here. I'm using the, hold on, let me show you. Google, where are you? I'm using this set here, RTH today. So it just happened to overblow RTH, and then it, I mean, so for those of you who know what a UTAT is, I mean, come on, they got me. I mean, look at that, Ben. Chew. Can we get some intro on Bookmap? Chew, we can definitely get you some intro on Bookmap. We have only about 5 minutes left in the day. Would you guys like me to have Nathan back on to do like a Bookmap segment where we could specifically talk like, you know, about Bookmap? We can talk about settings, configurations, how to like put it all together. Are y'all in? Okay, y'all are in. All right, hit me. You know what it costs. I'll do it, but you know what it costs. If you haven't already, get me some.
Yeah, I need some lights too, so I can keep coming on.
Yeah, we gotta see what's up. So Nathan, what's your schedule look like? Let's hash this out with the people.
Oh, you know me. I mean, I help you with all the stuff you're doing. So basically, when you're on, I'm on.
Are
And
you around tomorrow? Do you want to come back on and talk Bookmap tomorrow, or
let's see, tomorrow. Yeah, I can.
What do
Yeah,
you guys
tomorrow will be
think?
good.
If I have him back tomorrow, will you come back tomorrow and talk Bookmap tomorrow? We can make tomorrow, because like I
Yeah,
said, I
let's do
normally
it.
like to roll into a different concept like every day, you know, and talk about different stuff. So Premier only gets one like, so he's very upset right now because he only gets to do one like. So Pierre, you need multiple accounts, log in with multiple accounts, liking on all of them. Don't you know how botting works? I mean, come on. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for your like. We appreciate you. Okay. So we will try and have my we'll try. Oh, sweet. Thank you, Ben. That's the spirit, buddy. But yeah, well, oh, come on. Look at all the volume. Go
Oh
get it.
man, look at
Go
my
get it.
partial.
Go get it.
Hey, Carlos, throw my screen up. Look at the partial I just got on this
Come
store.
on. Get
I just
Nathan.
nailed that.
Get Nathan up.
Look at that partial.
Yeah. Yes. Very
I'll take that one all
nice.
day.
Good stuff. Talk about it. Yes, sir. Awesome. So I mean, good stuff. Good seeing everybody. See, I love it, y'all. This is just, so what's really difficult with this whole trading thing is staying composed when it's not going your way, right? You can see here, my Apple didn't work. I then took 2 losses on Google. I'm literally only allowed to take 4 trades a day. So I'm on my last trade right now of the day that I could take, and would take my first max stop that I've had in, actually, it would be my first max stop of the year, right? So like I haven't had a 4-4 loser all year, right? So like, man, and it is really hard to sit back and just hold a position on like I am right now. So Carlos, flip back over for me on a mine. So just sitting back and boom, you know, there's my fill on my position, and now I'm green
Nice.
today instead of red today. But I was down 3 solid trades plus a little slippage on the other one. So like, is today like a great day? Like, am I making a lot of money today? No, but because my performance was regulated, because my emotions were regulated, most importantly, right? I stuck with it. You know what I mean? And got what I needed to get to fix this day. But you know, this is where most of us are going to go wrong. It's not going to be on this part or this part, right? Both of those stops were exactly right. Where you're going to mess up is on this part. You're going to play that one that actually worked, and the one that actually worked, you're going to do something with that one. You know what I'm saying? You're going to mess it up. You're going to take it off too early. You're going to add into it when you weren't supposed to because you get too excited and you want to try and make it a bigger trade than it needed to be, right? And you're going to do those kind of things where if you can just regulate your performance, bad days don't have to be bad, right? They just, it's just underperform, right? Okay, I made like an R today, like stink. You know what I mean? But you know, it's controlled. Worst case, I would have lost 4. You know, so good stuff, man. Great partial on yours, man. That's exciting. Good
Yeah,
hit,
no,
dude.
I'm glad that got you to hit yours too. That's awesome.
Making that money now. So everybody, so here's what we're gonna do, right? So we've all talked about the plan. Tomorrow, we're gonna have our guy Nathan back on. We'll probably have him on a little earlier, maybe around like 11:15 when we do since we talk about concepts starting at 11:15. So we'll have him on at 11:15 since he's going to talk about the concepts. So we'll be ready for that. So everyone, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, share the channel with your friends, right? And on your social media, let everybody know there's a really cool segment out there from 11 to 12 that's bringing you some really cool stuff. I talk to you all later. Nathan, brother, thank you, man. I'll talk to you later. See you tomorrow.
Right.
Keep it green.
Bye.